Rob Thompson, Rudy J. R&R in the morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
R&R in the morning once again. Happy Thursday to you. If you're up moving around, get going. If you're not, ease into that, man. I wish I was laying in bed right now.
You do?
That 4 a.m. alarm.
Well, see, yeah,
Getting a little early.
Rob's the little behind the curve. Rob's the first one in, last one to leave.
Not really, but yeah.
What time are you getting here now?
I get here I try to be here by 5.
Because you have other stuff to do. It's not like it's not like I'm just here just like letting Rob carry me, right? You're doing other stuff, right? You're not just.
I'm acting like it anyway.
Okay. Stop it.
If you're doing other stuff. You look busy and you look flustered all the time, people leave you alone. Just look angry and walk and stop it if you're like, another.
But I don't take you as that guy that doesn't want to be left alone, that wants to be left alone.
But have you ever faked anger? Like look at your phone, somebody's talking to you and you go,
oh God.
I got
yes.
Again.
Of course. We all have.
Just a chance.
Especially that call center life. You don't want to talk to anybody before 11 because everyone hates being there. Like, don't. And especially because the call center, you have your headphones on because like you listen to music. I'm doing my little data entry and someone comes and stands there and they're like, and then you like take one ear off, you're like, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's crazy. After I tell you that's crazy twice, you're supposed to leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, damn, that's crazy. Wow, that's crazy. Anytime somebody tells you that's crazy twice, leave.
That's it.
We're here to help.
That's all I got. All I can respond to that statement is, that's crazy. Because if I don't say that's crazy, I'm going to say, why don't you go away? I'm done with you.
We're here to help at R&R in the morning. You get 2, that's crazies. When you get to work today, leave their cube.
And then when they keep talking, you just turn and say, this conversation has grown tiresome. I have other things to do.
And I'm a nice guy, but good grief.
I'm going to move on before I get mad at you. Oh, R&R in the morning. We got lots of conversating to do. We're going to look very closely at, well, lots of COVID protocols. Of course, they're in the news. Dallas Cowboys are dealing with a outbreak. Bruce Arians has taken control of the Tampa Bay COVID protocols. They're going to have their very own.
Bruce said, there's league rules, and then there's my rules. He said, we ain't going nowhere.
We probably won't have
what's that?
Chance to talk about it. I'm reading this thing about Ye West.
Yeah, let's talk about Ye.
So Kanye's changing his name. From
Kanye to just Ye. That's what we call him anyway.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? It's not like going from Prince to a symbol. We call him Ye anyway.
Yeezy,
Ye. That's what we call him anyway. So it's not he didn't go out west with it. No pun intended.
Well said. So no last name, no middle name. He'd just be Ye. Y-E.
He should be. He's earned it. As different and as weird as he may be and out there as he may be, he's earned a one-namer.
Have you ever considered or even thought about changing your name? Like, you know what? I'm going to change the color paint of my house.
You know,
and I'm going to be known as
But
Ye.
I haven't reached that. No, I haven't.
I can't. I don't know how you get there. I
what don't know. B?
Maybe if you date a Kardashian for a while, you'll want to change your name.
Yeah.
Because I guess once they're done with you, you're a pile of rubble. What was the first husband to Kim, the basketball player?
Oh gosh. Oh, you talking about Humphries?
That was the second one, Chris Humphries.
The first one was ended up in a sex tape, right? That was that was
Ray J.
The Ray J, the sex
Brandy's
tape.
brother.
And then that's Brandy's brother? Man, I gotta get caught up. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's Brandy's brother, Ray J.
And then
Humphries, Reggie Bush. Reggie wasn't married to her though. Remember when the Cowboys training camp was here, she was dating Austin Miles. Oh, right. You remember that?
Yes.
And I was like, hey man, maybe we'll see Kim.
I saw some pictures of the other one, her sister. I don't know
which one, Courtney or Chloe.
Well, the one that
or the Jenner two.
I think it's
Kylie,
a Jenner.
Kendall's dating Devin Booker.
I saw a picture of them on some yacht in Italy.
Yeah, that's Kendall. She's the Victoria's Secret model.
Which is the one that's made all the money?
Kylie.
Kylie's the one that's a billionaire already.
She's a billionaire. She's dating rapper Travis Scott. They have a child and maybe one on the way.
And Travis Scott's the one from Houston that went to UTSA.
Yeah, he's a rock star.
I mean,
He's a rock star.
And designs a hell of a Nike.
You like his Nikes? I think just turning the check around.
The first iteration was cool. I'll take the first Travis Scott.
You don't like the ones that just dropped, like the low tops with the black?
I'm not down with any low top Jordan.
Really?
Well, any Jordan 1.
Okay.
Any iteration. I've never been down with any of the low tops. Never had one. So I appreciated the first. Second one's all right. I mean, the funny thing when that dropped, and I'm getting into the weeds here, but it came down.
No, let's go into the weeds. I like the Children of the Corn.
The Sean Weatherspoon. The spoons that came out right when the Scots were kind of coming out, and I was very much.
I don't even remember those. See, now you, wow, the spoons.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to get up to date. I'm gonna have to hit my plug up and ask which ones are the spoons. Which ones were those?
It's been about 3 years ago. Their Air Max version got.
Yes.
So when the Scots hit, I was kind of more looking at the other ones, and my son ended up getting a pair of Weatherspoons, but I'd like to have a pair of Travis Scotts, but.
It's impossible with the bots unless you're gonna pay $1,200.
Well, that's just it.
Hell no, you're not.
I'm hoping to blunder into something at TJ Maxx.
No, sometimes Ross and TJ Maxx you'll find a sleeper.
Yes, you will.
I will give you that.
No doubt.
Ross and TJ Maxx every now and then you can catch something.
Somebody doesn't know what they got, and they just throw it into the bin. You go, are those Jordan 2s?
Do you own any Yeezys?
No,
hey, mama. No,
I don't.
I've heard they're super comfortable.
I have an Adidas on right now that's kind of got the Yeezy design.
See, I like
these.
Those.
Aren't Yeezys.
Adidas made their casual. Their casual line came a long way because before it was just shell toe.
Right.
Now they kind of lifestyle. That's the word I'm looking for. Their lifestyle all around.
They made a concerted effort about 4 years ago to really reach out and grab some of the culture.
Yep. I like those. Are those comfy?
Yeah,
Not really.
I mean, no.
That was a not really.
No, they are. I mean, the thing about I love Adidas right now, and the designs can up to that, but the sole, the insole, the cushion that they use is extraordinary. I'm Alpha Bounce, the bounce technology, stuff like this.
That stuff is awesome for your lower back.
Most comfortable
knees.
Yeah, the Adidas has got it.
Agreed.
And if you want to go ahead and get them, go ahead. Well, we got I don't know how we got there, but here we
were talking about Ye.
Here we
remember?
Yeah, that's right. We're talking about Ye. As far as the sporting world, the Dallas Cowboys are in the midst of a COVID outbreak, the likes of which that everybody was afraid of. We don't know how many, if anybody's sick, but lots of positive tests. As we come into a game against Jacksonville, we know we don't expect to see a lot of vets play, but man, we got to have everybody healthy for that Tampa game. I got a chance to watch Hard Knocks last night.
You loved it.
It was. Everybody that I've talked to said, man, you have to watch it. It was great. There was no news broken. They didn't tell us anything we didn't know, but the stories were great. And one of them, they were showing at the beginning of the Cardinal game. Okay. They're standing out on the field with McCarthy and Jerry and Steve and all, and Mark McCarthy walks up and says, always something, isn't it? And then they had just found out that Dan Quinn had been flagged and pulled from the game. And Jerry, I think they've been in this for about a year. It is what it is. I mean, what are you going to do? Complain? But it's certainly, you could just see the look in Jerry's eyes, like everything's been going so well. Everything's going great. We thought Dak might be kind of hurt. He's not. Offense seems to be okay. We're still looking for a backup quarterback, but our draft picks seem to be panning out. Everybody looks good. Haven't had a significant injury, and now here comes COVID. You can just in that episode, we saw Jerry kind of open up the star, kind of like what he does when he goes to Oxnard. He offers kind of a welcome to Oxnard, State of the Cowboys kind of. Well, they showed him standing in front of the crowd. I guess it was their first live practice at Oxnard, and he almost got choked up talking about all of this.
So this is his second time, because then you get choked up in Cali.
Absolutely, he did. So Jerry, I really think he's looking at this as kind of like his victory lap. I mean, he's very much involved with all this. And
you think Jerry's retiring?
Not retiring. I don't think that's in his DNA.
You don't think so?
I don't think he'll
You
ever.
cried twice in 2 months.
Yeah.
You might be getting ready to retire.
And there might be a chairman emeritus kind of thing where, Jerry's still around, but he's not making most of the decisions. And he doesn't do anything without Steven. Steven's always by his side. But that emotional level that I haven't seen before. Yeah. You wonder if he's kind of got in the back of his mind, man, this is it, man. I'm about to turn over the reins. I
don't. It took so long to rebuild the team that I feel like it's Super Bowl worthy. You a crier, Rob?
I am.
Me too.
I am a crier.
I am too.
It doesn't take much.
I am a crier. I'm talking about TV show, movie,
I'm not
News story.
Dick Vermeil crier, but I get
I'm a
can
crier.
easily get
Like
choked up.
I'm a Denzel Washington in Glory. One
Just
tear
one
kind
tear.
of fall.
No, I can get that ugly. I get the ugly.
Karl,
crying
you're
face.
a Philly guy. You don't cry.
No, he doesn't cry.
Karl's not a crier.
Can't remember the last time I cried. Sorry.
Really?
You know,
I
from
think
eating
I
all those
cried.
vegetables, it
I
toughens
think
you
I
up.
cried a couple of days ago watching something on TV.
Man.
And the ones that get me every time, Rob, dad shows up from the military at the game. The kids turned around the other way, then he turns around and dad's coming. I lose it. I lose it. Those videos, I lose it. How you know, Karl, I want you to watch one of those during break and see if you cry. I want you to.
I love those. I'm not going to cry, though. I'll smile. It's happy.
Those get you?
Yes,
those
they
get me. I'm telling you, I could watch them every day, and every day they get me.
I'm curious. So we had the Charlo fight here.
This is a few weeks ago.
About 2 weeks ago, right?
A few weeks ago.
Well,
Which
Charlo.
Which one?
Jamel.
Okay.
Was losing up at the AT&T Center.
A lot of people, my boxing guys told me he lost that fight.
That's what I'm saying. That he was losing, though. You know,
whatever.
But his brother, the night before, Jamal, has been arrested on felony robbery charges after a dispute over a bar tab at a bar on the northwest side of town.
It's happened in San Antonio. Now, he just got arrested, just got booked, but this happened in our backyard.
The Friday before the fight, right?
Yes.
So he's out with a bunch of people at this bar. And if anybody knows, the Kielbasa Bacon phone line, 656-3776, 656 ESPN.
What bar?
I want to know which bar it was.
What?
I don't know. I'm just very curious. How would Jamal Charlo want to know where to go, and why would it be someplace not downtown? How do you up on the northwest side?
Or maybe someone works there that knows the story.
Maybe.
I want to get it off your chest what happened.
So evidently there's a big party, big group.
Yeah.
They go to pay Jamal, not Jermel.
Yes, Jamal.
Gave the credit card. They ran the credit card. Credit card was denied
3 times.
Struck out. He grabbed the waitress's
the little
receipt
folder.
book, the thing with all the receipts and cash, to go through and get his card.
Yeah, and he said the card wasn't there. He accused them of stealing his card, said y'all need to pay for it. I don't know. It's a crazy story.
I don't really care about the story. I just want to know where it was. I wonder if I just want to know what bar Jamal Charlo went to.
Northwest?
They said in the northwest.
See,
San
I'm
Antonio.
northwest, and there's nothing by me. So, but see, the thing is with these directions, when they do stuff on the news, they're like, "Oh, northwest." Like, that's not northwest, bro. But so, who knows if it was northwest?
Dave and Buster's?
No way. He wasn't at Dave and Buster's.
You don't think Jamal Charlo went to Dave and Buster's to play some games?
You think he may have been somewhere with those scenic views?
It's possible.
Someone said,
there certainly is. I know that's where I would be. I can tell you that.
Ojos Locos.
Now, I know that Karl hates baseball in Little Leagues. And
no,
it's not baseball. I just don't watch it.
He doesn't like Little League baseball.
You're really a Philly guy. Okay, I'm listening.
But there is a story coming out of where are they playing?
Somewhere in Pennsylvania.
Port.
Yeah.
Something Port. I can't believe that fell out of my brain. That's the early morning stuff. This kid named Gavin Weir, he's out part of the South Dakota team.
Yeah.
Has thrown his second no-hitter of the Little League World Series. Since they left their regions and have come up, he's faced 132 batters, giving up one hit.
That's demoralizing for the other teams.
Is
he 21?
No, there is no question this kid is not too old.
What if he's Benjamin Button, Rob?
Danny Almonte.
What if he's Benjamin Button, Rob?
Drive the bus with the team on there like we've seen before. He looks like a 12-year-old
whatever,
kid.
14. I think they're 13,
whatever
14,
he might be.
Williamsport. Damn it, Rob. We're going to get that right one day.
I don't know why.
But you said Port.
I knew there was a Port.
I'm going to give you that. Go ahead, brother.
2 no-hitters. Gavin Weir throws his second yesterday.
14 Ks.
That is so absolutely awesome.
You know, I guess the only story here outside of how awesome it is, Rob, is should kids be throwing curves, sliders, next on Real Sports? What does it do to the arm? Because we talk about tackle football, right? We talk about tackle football, right? And if you watch this kid, he's phenomenal. He's the real deal.
He got smoke and he got curve. He's
Yeah,
got
and
some wiggle in
he
the
makes
ball.
the ball move around and dance. You know, I know when we talked about the tackle football, we got some response. I want to know from you little league parents, if you got a son as a pitcher, how soon do you want them throwing and torquing the arm like that? Because a baseball pitcher, your arm wasn't made to do the things that pitchers do. I don't think God gave us these arms and said, hey, I want you to turn your elbow upside down and your wrist. You know what I mean? Because he's got some movement.
Yes, he does.
So, and different arm angles and things like that. So what age, since we talk about tackle football, what age should they be making the ball dance like that?
I've had some friends that were very much involved in baseball, and one was a kid that came out of Central Catholic. I watched him pitch forever. Ended up going to Arkansas for a bit.
Oh, cool.
Oh, he threw heat.
Yeah.
Threw hard. I don't know. I've always heard about, you don't throw the curve. I was never in baseball.
Me neither.
I don't know. I know that when you deal in the basketball world, there's always the concern for the repetitive use injury because you're doing the same things. You want your kids to go out and play another sport. You just go do something else because it'll help you in the long run, even though you feel like you're falling behind.
You're burnt out.
Yeah. Well, just go learn to do something different. It'll help your game. I promise you. But to be a baseball pitcher, I don't think there's time to go do something else.
Damn.
I think that there's.
You think that's like an around the clock thing?
Well, I don't. I think it is an accumulation of that 10,000 hours that Malcolm Jenkins talks about of being what it takes to be great at something. 10,000 hours of work to get that good. And I think a pitcher needs 10,000 hours of work. Maybe not with the curve and all that. I don't know when there is that line, but I'd always heard about it. I've always heard, hey, he's throwing a curve and he's throwing it too hard or too often. I'd heard about that in the Little League World Series or Little League a couple years ago, but that doesn't seem to be something I'm hearing anymore. This is the point I'm getting to. I don't hear that about wearing pitchers out. Have they found a new method of teaching how to throw? Is it a paced model where, 5 years ago, you always heard about pitchers throwing curves too early? At least I did. I have not heard that discussion in several years. I haven't heard that brought up. So maybe
they have put pitch counts on high school players. I don't know exactly younger, but I want to say you are limited to X amount, and that's a big part of why the intentional walk has been removed in terms of throwing four pitches to the catcher, because those count towards your pitch count. So there is something about.
Is it a standardized pitch count put in by the leagues, or is it a pitch count administered by the coaches?
I won't say the league.
It's the leagues. UIL. I don't know if it's standard in TAPS or anything, or on the select baseball, but yeah, there's pitch counts for these kids now.
So you figure the little league's the same way. You throw two no-hitters like that, you start questioning about a guy. What is he doing that would harm him in the long run? We'll get to our headlines in just a minute, but I do. As I got home yesterday, we'll probably not talk a whole lot about it, but we do have to talk a little bit about Rachel Nichols.
No, I'm fine with that.
I mean, she was in the middle of the news here a couple of weeks ago. Some disparaging remarks that she made, not so much about or against young lady.
It was more against
Maria Taylor.
It's more about
ESPN, right?
That she was put in.
Right.
So Maria Taylor ends up negotiating a brand new deal, using ESPN as leverage, going to NBC and getting paid. Good for her. But we thought that was over, that Rachel Nichols had survived the war. She was going to hold on to her NBA gig. And I'll tell you, the NBA gig at ESPN you do not have a long and bright future. Michelle Beadle began that NBA gig. She gone.
Right.
Now, that was for other reasons, but she was NBA-centric before she went to Get Up. And then Rachel Nichols steps in and takes over and does all of that. Now, she has been exited. She's still under contract, but will no longer host the Jumpin' by every measure or by every account. Will be back on the four-letter network again. This is on the same week that Max Kellerman was removed from First Take with Stephen A. and announced that on September the 27th, he'll move to the mornings and take over the Z part of the K and J and be the.
I think that'll work.
Oh, I think it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I think that's going to work.
And you can catch an hour of it, 5 to 6 or 6 to 7.
Then you got to get us.
Then you get us, you lucky devils.
Sorry, Max.
But that will leave a program opening here at ESPN. We do need to figure out.
Oh, because Max on these airways is
we're going to be moving Max
2 to 4.
And I'm not above or asking for advice from the listeners. I'm going to have a 2-hour gap that I need to fill in programming as Max Kellerman comes on after halftime from 2 to 4 that's now going to be open.
I vote Minix go 2 to 7. I mean, he got the sponsors
on a day that he's on vacation.
He got the sponsors to fill it. Go 2 to 7, Jason.
I mean, we have access to Bart and Hahn. I'm a fan of that show.
I like Bart Scott a lot.
There's also something that has never been on here in San Antonio, that out of the SEC football world. Paul Feinbaum, maybe run some Paul Feinbaum.
Paul knows how to push people's buttons.
He does.
That might not be bad.
That would be something that has never been in San Antonio, and as Texas joins the SEC and A&M already there, it might be a good fit. We got some decisions to make here at SA Sports Star.
I see you working with that one.
And maybe we look outside. Pat McAfee's got him a show floating around out there. That
don't know a Pat McAfee.
Pat's former punter with the Colts. He's
wow. Okay,
got an interesting
now
an interesting gig going with ESPN. Although I'm not sure about his longevity with the league. But yeah, with the imminent changes with ESPN, it's unfortunate. And as I was sitting with my son, and this is this kind of in our business, it's like being in the mafia. I tell everybody when you're in the sports broadcasting business, whether you're in the radio or the television gig, it is a good life while you're living. But eventually you're going to get called into the room and shot in the back of the head and not even see it coming. It is a more difficult job to keep and hold than even being a head coach. There's a lot of competition for a few spots, and decisions are made that's
brutal out here
that have no basis. And I feel very bad for Rachel Nichols because I don't know where Rachel goes.
Well, this is the thing. I don't know. Well, first of all, I think Rachel lands on her feet.
Oh, I'm not. I think she is eminently talented.
Yeah, I think she lands on her feet. It's just, regardless of how we feel about what was said, you're working for a network / league, because yes, you work for ESPN, but your job is NBA. And considering the NBA and what they've put their hat on, as far as like, hey, racial equality, social injustice, things like that, even if she didn't mean it in a malice way, which when you listen to it, it's just like she was like, hey, ESPN, they want women, and they want someone African American. Like this is just what we're going toward. That's kind of what she said. I don't think, again, there's plenty of players that have been on that show that came to her defense, said, hey, I've never witnessed anything from Rachel that I would call, kind of shady or whatever. But when you're working for ESPN and you're working for the NBA, it's just one of those things where it's just like, yo, we really have no choice. And we talked about this the other day. I forget what we're talking about, being offended and things of that nature. So tough break for her, but Rachel's talented and she'll land on her feet.
Oh, I just hope to see her again because I knew, like you said, eminently talented.
Arguably, the worst thing that she did was whoever else was in this conversation that leaked out. It was a private conversation.
It was LeBron's agent.
It wasn't Rich Paul.
It was somebody in LeBron's
It was somebody in LeBron's camp. Yeah, it wasn't Rich Paul. Something about how he was tired of the Black Lives Matter and Me Too movement, and she laughed at that. And that was kind of what really made headlines. And then she also said that ESPN has a bad track record with including diversity.
And so now they're covering their CYA.
Malika Andrews will step into that role, and she's going to be great. She's young.
The one that they have out.
She made her
on
bones
road.
In the bubble.
Yeah, the one that they have out on the road.
Yes.
Yeah, she's gonna be all right.
And they put her on the sideline during the finals. Right. She's gonna be just fine. It's no disparaging to her.
No, she's gonna be fine.
And I think we have to accept the fact that the jump is now going to be kind of like the springboard job. Either you're going to make it and move up, or you're not going to make it and leave the network.
The jump is actually canceled. There's going to be another week or two, and then they're going to come out with a new show, which I expect Malika Andrews to be the host of.
Yeah, there'll be another NBA center. But let's put the jump to bed. Hey, Karl's got it all put together. We might as well give it to you. Make sure you're fully informed and ready for a full day of work with all the sports headlines you need. It's time for the 411 and the 210.
Here's the 411 in the 210.
All right, headline 2. Golfer and new Papa Rory McIlroy says that he is mentally and physically exhausted. His quote, "This morning, I was tired. Look, we all have a long week and last week as well, but just summoning up the effort to get out of bed and get to your 7:20 Pro-Am tee time. It took a little more effort today than it usually does," McIlroy says.
Shut up.
Yes, I know.
I don't want to hear that.
You're tired for your Pro-Am tee time. I don't
want to hear that with your $300 million.
Try golf.
Try waking up 2, 4, 5, 6 times a night. with $5. Ain't got no tea time. You got nannies, nutritionists, someone to run your bath water. Welcome to being a parent, Rory.
Yeah. We all have our El Guapos.
Get out of here, dog.
And his El Guapo is being a little tired for his Tuesday morning.
I don't want to hear it. Because if Rory and his wife or Beyonce, whatever she is, decide, hey, you know what, we need a little bit of time. It'll be all right.
I think you could.
And I'm a Rory guy, but I don't want to hear that.
Moving on, Rory.
Headline one.
Rory.
Make us mad.
Headline one. It's been a rough couple of weeks for the New York Jets front line on the defensive side. Defensive end Vinny Curry to miss the season due to complications stemming from a rare blood disorder. In an Instagram post, Curry, who's 33, starter on the Philadelphia Eagles 2017 Super Bowl team, said that he was initially projected to return in the middle of September, but he explained that blood clots formed and forced him to go on blood thinners, and that's going to prevent him from being able to have physical contact for 3 to 6 months.
When do we need to start the Jets curse?
Not quite there yet.
You sure?
Not yet. I think if we're going to begin, it'd have to be something to do with Zach. Something happens with Zach. Did I read that he might have to have his spleen removed?
I didn't read the full article. I was just kind of taking out a couple quotes. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there might be some kind of repercussion surgically for him.
I can't imagine having to lose my career aspirations due to a sickness not involved with the job. Like, you could understand if you're a football player, it's devastating and it's awful. But in the back of your mind, you know I could get hurt.
Right.
I could lose it. I could, blow a knee. I could do something that will cause me to leave, and just have to leave the game, not because of that. That's one of those, it's an easy decision, I think, to make, but a long-term one that you never really kind of get over.
It's the gift and the curse, though, because the gift is, if you're not a pro athlete, do you even know that that's going on in your body? Like, if you know what I mean? Like, so many pro athletes, like Lamarcus Aldridge. Who else had this? Chris Bosh. There's a few times where if you're not getting these physicals and you're not around a pro athlete environment, you have no idea what's going on inside your body. When's the last time any of us in here did real blood work? Mm-hmm. I know you just did. You just went, right?
Yeah.
Karis LeVert, if I'm not mistaken, was the player involved in the trades. Right? Yeah, then they found he had cancer, so the trade saved his life because they wouldn't have spotted if it weren't for the trade physical.
Yeah, the curse is, of course, you're not getting to play, but the gift is they found it, and you're working to fix it.
That's why you put your money in the bank. Best of luck to you, young man.
Yes,
Get
sir,
well.
for sure.
And headline 0, according to Pro Football Focus, UTSA safety Rashad Wisdom is the 73rd ranked NFL draft prospect this year. Wisdom plays the game, according to Pro Football Focus, like a heat-seeking missile. Listed at 5'9" and 205 pounds, that missile packs a punch too. He's been starting since his true freshman year in 2019 and earned coverage grades of 76.3 and 78 over that span.
If Pro Football Focus says it's probably true. I trust Pro Football Focus more than just about anybody.
It's still small though, man.
5'9" is little. 5'9" is little for safety, right? You should say
safety.
That's small for safety. But Pro Football Focus says you legit.
At least he ain't lying about it. You know, he might be able to sneak up to 5'11", and people are like, that's not too
cleats
small.
On, he's 5'11".
Yeah,
barefooted 5'9", but cleats on 5'11".
I see you on the field. You're 5'9".
That's awesome, though, that Pro Football Focus is even talking about him.
I'm hugely impressed.
Me too.
I didn't realize it. I will say this. It's just going to be – at that size, man, it's just hard to have a long and industrious career.
Right.
You're going to have to play
5'9" little. I mean, we had sincere preseason All-American. Mm-hmm. They had 2 preseason All-Americans with UTSA, I want to say. 1 first team, 1 second team. And then now this with Rashad Wisdom being a Pro Football Focus. I see you over there, Trailer.
Go get it.
Look forward to talking to you, my man.
Man, Jeff Trailer is building a program.
Yeah.
Building a program. Moving on. That's it, man. That's Karl's countdown. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Put on the chain, the 411 in the 210. We always appreciate Karl getting everything together. Hey, coming back, we're looking at Bruce Arians' COVID controls. We'll look around the NFL. We got a bunch of big games this weekend, seeing who's going to make the team and who's not. And the decision from the San Francisco 49ers as to their starting quarterback is still awaited. Although I think
I ain't telling y'all just so y'all can write y'all stories.
I hate that. Let's talk some NFL next. It's R&R in the morning, and this is San Antonio's Sports Star. You're on ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Twin Peaks is open today. It's the weekend's already here. You might already start planning for your lunch. Lunch specials every day at the 3 Twin Peaks around San Antonio. And as the NFL begins, so do all the great parties. August is kind of a transition time. We all look forward to football. We watch our preseason games, and the Dallas Cowboys will be live at all the Twin Peaks and all the other televised games. We got a variety of holidays just around the corner as we end up our summer. I do want you to remember the Bourbon and Brews Party will always continue on Friday. Make sure you're honoring the pursuit of brews and barrel-aged bourbon. Head over to all the Twin Peaks and get there between 5 and 7 and experience lingerie costume parties paired with exceptional bourbons and tastings and giveaways and cheers. The one thing about Twin Peaks that makes them unique is, first of all, they specialize in local brews. If you like local beer, you can make sure they're on the tap there at Twin Peaks, coming to you at 29 degrees. They also understand the value of a great bourbon. And I'm not talking about top shelf. I'm talking about those hard to find ones. You into Pappy, you into something like that, you can go to Twin Peaks and make sure they've got it for you. Today, it's Thursday. Happy hour will begin at 5 o'clock, 29-degree, cold man-sized drafts. Cocktails round out an adventurous drink menu second to none. And make sure you're getting all those bar snacks. Twin Peaks, 3 great locations, 151 and 410, Days of Allah and I-10, and Loopland over to Park North. We go over there for the fine camaraderie, hanging around with people of like mind. We go over there for that scratch-made food coming out of the kitchen and sharing a 29-degree cold beer. But why do we honestly go? Well, I know why I do. It's those scenic views.
ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It was an up-and-down evening for the Texas MLB teams Wednesday night. The Texas Rangers dropped Game 2 in their series against Cleveland 7-2. Jake Latz got the loss in his first start for the Rangers and gave up 3 runs on 5 hits in 4 2/3 innings pitched. The Houston Astros claimed the rubber match against the Kansas City Royals in their 3-game series in Houston, winning yesterday afternoon's game 6-5 in 10 innings. Yordan Alvarez helped the cause for Houston, going 2 of 5 from the plate with a home run. And the San Antonio Missions defeat the Midland Rockhounds 3-1 on Military Appreciation Night last night. Those are your baseball headlines. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Karl Schoening.
When you need an electrician, Hill Electric is available 24/7 for residential and commercial needs. If you're having to rework your office, let Hill Electric design your socially distanced space to ensure each workstation has the proper electrical needs. For over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. There is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074, or go to hill-electric.com.
If you've been hurt in a crash, do your research. You'll find plenty of lawyers out there. They'll probably do a fine job, but ask yourself, is fine really good enough for you and your family? Don't leave your case to chance. Contact Thomas J. Henry today. San Antonio, Texas.
O'Reilly. Get more miles on the road with O'Reilly Auto Parts. A clean fuel system means better gas mileage for your car. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, get 2 bottles of Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner for $8. Plus, earn double O Rewards points. For a clean, lubricated, more fuel-efficient system, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
There's no place like Panera, where a bite of the toasty, saucy Chipotle chicken avocado melt tastes like, focaccia. A cool and refreshing strawberry poppy seed salad al fresco is so sweet. And a cheesy Chipotle chicken and bacon flatbread pizza in your favorite booth feels just right. So treat yourself, because there's no place like Panera. Order on the app today. Restrictions apply. Visit PaneraBread.com.
Welcome to Texas, where your backside will sizzle like bacon when you get in your car, unless you go to Mother's Window Tint, home of the Tint and Alarm Special, where you can also buy a new car stereo. Since 1984, Mother's Window Tint has tinted cars and trucks to keep them cooler and stop the sun from damaging their interiors. Texans like dark privacy window tint. Come to Mother's and get some. Legal and guaranteed a lifetime. Remember to protect yourself and your family. Buy an auto alarm today from Mother's. Starter kill, remote start, GPS locator, 24-hour live monitoring. Save $100 on the tint and alarm package of your choice. Austin and San Antonio stores. MothersWindowTint.com. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar, now opening at noon 7 days a week at all 4 area locations. Slackers is your home to 7 days a week happy hour, and they now start at noon every day. And by popular request, Slackers brings back their signature frozen drinks. Visit SlackersBarsSA.com for more info.
People are flipping out over the new Samsung phones, and the hype is deserved. The Galaxy Z Fold 3 5G unfolds into a tablet, and the Galaxy Z Flip 3 5G fits in the palm of your hand. Show off with 2 screens in one. Snap selfies hands-free. Step into the spotlight wherever you go. Pre-order Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3 5G or Z Flip 3 5G today and get up to $200 in Samsung.com credit. Are you ready? Valid through 8/26 while supplies last at select retailers. See additional terms and conditions at Samsung.com.
Are we ready for the 5:30 pickup?
Cam's Courier Service's newest hire delivered his resignation.
Hey, Ray, who's handling
She now needs next day shipping on a new driver.
all these boxes here? Are they ingoing or are they outgoing?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
It's like breakfast tacos with the hot stuff. Rob Thompson, Rudy J, R&R in the morning on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
R&R.
In the morning.
In the morning. One of those should stand for hungry. I'm hungry.
Me too. I just got a Pop-Tart. I had to get something.
And I have discovered getting up early in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, you're used to your normal morning commute and everything's open. You can go get your taco, your coffee, everything's when you come into work at 4:30 in the morning, there's nothing open. For you early morning types, where are you getting your breakfast? I'm willing to go out of my way.
For a taco, I don't know where you're getting a taco at 4:30.
I-10, out that direction, those that make those commute. Where can I get tacos early in the morning? Because I don't know where to go.
You get a fake one from Whataburger. You get a taquito or a breakfast on the bun from Whataburger, but you can't get a authentic Sananto taco. I don't know.
Every now and then I'm down with the taquitos. They're all right.
They're all right. I'm more of a Bob guy.
Yeah, the Bobs are good.
Bob. I'm a sausage Bob guy.
Do they still have that breakfast burger with the egg and?
I don't know. I think is that them or is that Jack and the Crack?
No, this was Whataburger, and I never actually had it because every time I wanted it, it wasn't on sale.
No, I never had it.
You know what I mean? It was we only sell that between 2 and 4 a.m. or whatever it might be. I never actually had it. Maybe Whataburger would be the answer. But
that's not a taco.
No. I want tacos, and I want good tacos.
At 4:30. Help us. Help Rob.
I want to see the tortillas being made in front of me kind of stuff. I want that, and I can't find it. And it's probably good. Dr. Torres over at the IFS is probably rather happy that I can't go get those.
You're eating your breakfast little oatmeal thing. That's cool.
But I have found that getting something to eat kind of helps
help you get going.
Kind of moves the system.
Oh. You like sparkling water, Rob? It leaves a weird aftertaste for me, man.
This is it does. There's no getting around it.
Okay, cool. I thought so. There's a weird aftertaste of sparkling water.
This is just straight up sparkling water. It's not, sweetened or anything else like that. But if you like White Claw, I mean, this is essentially non-alcoholic White Claw, basically. And I don't like White Claw. You drink those?
No.
Good. Carl?
Of course he does.
No, I can't say that I enjoy White Claw. If I'm going to enjoy alcohol, I'm going to enjoy it with something tasty, like a wine or a beer.
I need to get my wine game up.
Bought my first 6-pack of Yingling.
You did? Where'd you find it?
Over at H-E-B.
So it wasn't like the Popeye's chicken sandwich. Because I thought the Yingling was going to be like the Popeye's chicken sandwich. It was going to be gone as soon as they put it out. The way the hype around it.
Oh man, we work very closely with Glazer distributing, Miller Lite and that crew. They're distributing the Yingling, and we were talking to folks a couple weeks ago, and they said they had 20,000 cases of Yingling coming into San Antonio in preparation for the. So you can find it. There's a lot.
When are you cracking one?
I had one yesterday,
and
good as I remember. I hadn't had Yingling since I was at the Army-Navy game. It'll be 2 years ago in November.
Oh, so it's been 2 years. I know Minix got his 6-pack as well.
I might have found some in Miami, but now it's here and we can have it.
Okay.
Let's dig into some football real quick. Bruce Arians, head football coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, has always been kind of out there. Always been a player's coach, one that you look to for entertainment and fine coaching. He's got a ring. Well, he has taken over the COVID protocols, gone above and beyond what the NFL has asked. The Buccaneers played the Titans. Was that last week?
Yes.
And after the game, I don't know whenever, his kicker went to dinner with a couple of Tennessee Titans and came up positive. So that pretty much told Bruce that when the season begins, can't have his players out and about. So he's going to just quarantine his guys just like they're not vaccinated. They're going to act as if no families coming to the hotels. When you get to the travel city, you can't leave. They're going to make sure that they're available. And again, available is the key here. This is the returning Super Bowl champ. They know what it takes. They know what they need to do to go get another ring. And one of those is keep your players safe.
Let me ask you this though, Rob. Let's say I'm the guy, I didn't want vaccine. My family told me, don't get the vaccine. Don't do it. I go get vaccinated for the team purposes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you still treat me like I'm unvaccinated. I'd be a little upset if it went against everything that I believe in and I did it anyway. And then like, well, damn, if you were going to treat us like we're all, because that's what Bruce said. He said, unvaccinated, vaccinated, we ain't doing that. So you're treating me like I'm unvaccinated. So why stick myself?
Well, one would be so you don't get sick.
I mean, that's a great
answer.
First
and foremost, I don't want you to get sick.
Right.
Secondly, I want you to be able to play.
Okay.
You know, I think that if I'm Arians, I can look at you and tell you honestly, I don't give a damn. I just want you playing on Sunday.
Yeah.
I want you available to me on Sunday. And whatever we need to do for that to occur, we're going to do. In fact, I'm going to go above and beyond even what the NFL has asked because we are the Super Bowl champions. We get no off weeks. Everybody's got us circled. I got to protect a 45-year-old quarterback. I got to figure out a way to get this team to the playoffs and further. And if that means you don't get your family on the road, hell, could be worse.
They got a kid that had 10, 15 family members coming to that first game against Dallas. He wasn't too upset that he's not going to get to hang out with them, but he's like, hey, I'm used to being at home anyway. But now, the kicker was within the rights of the NFL. NFL says if you're vaccinated, you can go and do your thing. But Bruce says, not on my watch. You think other teams will adopt this?
I don't think so.
You think they'll be the only one of 32?
No, I think there'll be others. Okay. I don't think all of them will.
No, I don't think it'll be all of them.
But I think that Bruce
Arians, I mean, if you get enough teams where it's like, yo, you went out with your family after the game, even though you're vaccinated, then you brought it back to the locker room.
It's still in the locker room.
It's still in the locker room.
We still, even if we follow the protocols, just like we believe the Dallas Cowboys have, they're going to be suffering through it. And again, you got to have your guys. He says our guys are going to have to make a bunch of sacrifices. Families at the hotel and all those things, they're all out the window.
I mean, if you go to Super Bowl, it's a six month sacrifice. It's a 5 month sacrifice.
It can be
a long time.
It's awful.
That's a long time.
If you, in the grandest scheme of things, but we are just talking about a business trip. This is a business trip when you travel.
True.
And most of us, when we travel on business trips, our family is not meeting us at the hotel.
No.
We don't get all of that. So while it sounds awful to the rest of the world, or maybe it doesn't sound awful at all, it at the end of the day isn't that big a deal. But I do see your sense of this. Why are you announcing this now? If you'd have told me before,
I wouldn't have got vaccinated.
And if I was completely against it for whatever reason, and get vaccinated, don't be against it.
Right. I'm just saying.
But if you had made this decision, let's say you had a reason, you had a religious objection that it was apparent to everybody,
Right.
but you said, for the better of the team, I'm a team guy. I will sacrifice some of my beliefs to make sure that we're in a situation that we won't suffer. If
10 years from now, I'm going to be a zombie. There's people that really feel that way. Like, for real. Like, I don't know. It's a nano chip. So now I'm going to have a nano chip in my arm for the next 10 years because of you, Bruce.
Can we I want to grab all of these idiotic statements and put them in some sort of like time capsule.
You want to save receipts?
I want to save.
You want to save some receipts?
I want to let's put the receipts in a bucket. We'll put them in a mayonnaise jar and we'll bury it in the backyard. And a couple years ago, from now, we will go dig up that mayonnaise jar and read all these things that people are saying. And I want them to admit how stupid it sounds.
Look, I saw this the other day, Rob. It says legal problem, lawyer. Build a house, architect. Fix a car, mechanic. Health problem, internet. Neighbor. miraculous drunks. TV newspapers. Self-prescribed drugs. Then you get to the doctor. Everything else, we go to the expert. You know what I mean? But then when it comes to COVID, we listen to any and everybody
to justify this kernel of doubt that I might have. I'm going to go find. I just want to save the receipts. Let's put them out, and just a couple years from now, I want to pull them out and go.
I'm a screenshot.
First and foremost, you step forward, sit down. Now, did you take a dewormer? You did. Okay, you took a dewormer. How'd that work out for you? You know. Let's look back on this.
On August 26th, 2021, you said you were going to be a zombie by 2031.
Blood clots, extra ears, everything else. Did that happen? No, it didn't. Okay.
Lawyer, mechanic, architect. We don't mess with them. It's like, hey, that's your field. Doctors, he don't know what he's talking about. I'm going to listen to this guy from South Dakota who says we got a nano in us.
He's bought out by Big Pharma.
Yeah.
Big Pharma's coming.
Anyway, but yeah, Bruce has laid the law down. I'm sure there's some people upset, but the thing about it is you can do that when you have Tom Brady as your quarterback.
Yes.
And there's one mission involved, and that mission is to win the Super Bowl. I don't know if this flies with Jameis Winston's team. You see what I'm saying? Like there's certain things Pop could do with Tim.
Absolutely.
Like I just cussed Tim out. I'll cuss you out too.
And I think some of the things that Pop preached, he didn't even have to say. Tim just did it.
That's what I'm saying. So you could do this with Tom as your QB.
Even though Pop would have told you to do it, he didn't have to. Tim did it, and everybody's going to follow the line. And I imagine that's just like Brady.
It's just like Brady.
Anybody bitching about no
Brady
family,
ain't going anywhere.
He turns and says, "You seen my wife? She ain't coming either."
Shout out to Giselle.
Well done, Tom. And we'll look around the rest of the NFL. Quarterbacks being named, coaches still being a little squirrely about naming them.
Stop it. Let them do them, Rob.
Understand. Kyle Shanahan is not ready to announce his week 1 quarterback, but he has a pretty good idea. Guess what? So do we. We'll talk about it next. It's R&R in the morning, and this is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. I have but one sports book. I have one every year. I've been with the same one for years. I'm Rob Thompson. I'm here to tell you about my favorite sports book. It's BetUS. Football, baseball, yes, it's going on. But that we all know about that. But it's all the other stuff that I certainly enjoy when I go to BetUS.com. BetUS.com, they're a pioneer in online betting. They've been around for 25 years. I know them. I trust them. They've been around long enough. I know I'm going to get paid. Integrity, longevity, yeah, that's what we're chasing when we want to get a book and want to make sure we get paid. You need a sports book that offers everything, including live betting, MMA, golf, boxing, horses, esports, and all the prop bets that really kind of get you through the day. To sign up, it is so easy, and I recommend making the call right now. 1-800-79-BET-US. They're waiting on you. 1-800-79-BET-US, and they'll walk you through the entire process. And while you're on the phone with them, it'll take just a couple of minutes. Remember, KZDC. That's us. That's San Antonio Sports Star, KZDC. When you mention that, there's some bonus for you. Up to 150% in bonuses for your first deposit. Let me tell you, look around, check. Nobody beats that. I bet at BetUS, you should too. BetUS.com. Join today. That's BetUS.com. BetUS.com. Go get yourself signed up, get them bonuses, and thank me later.
Get the latest scores and more from high school football online anytime at 210varsity.com. Sponsored by the San Antonio Express News. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Howdy, San Antonio. Chip Ingram from the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, inviting you to come out and enjoy patio season. We have newly remodeled patios, garage doors, and everything else you need to enjoy this great South Texas weather. As always, ice cold beer and specialty drinks. Happy hours daily from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And our kitchen is open from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. See you soon at the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant at 281 and Redland Road.
Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Score points with some of the boldest, keto-friendly, protein-packed, and low-carb snacks out there. And with their new Southern Recipe Small Batch 6-bag variety pack, you'll get to choose a different flavored pork rind every time. Find Southern Recipe Small Batch at your local H-E-B, and you'll always have pork rinds ready to go. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous.
Southern Recipe Pork Rinds.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Football is almost here. Get in on the action with DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL. To bring you even closer to the action, DraftKings is giving all new players a free shot at $1 million during Week 1. If you haven't tried DraftKings yet, preseason is the perfect time to test your strategy. It's simple. Just pick your lineup, stay under the salary cap, and see how your team stacks up against the competition. Nothing adds to the excitement of watching a game quite like having a free shot at huge cash prizes. And don't forget to check out DraftKings free-to-play pools, where there's even more cash up for grabs. Download the DraftKings app and use code KJZ. For a limited time, new players can get a free shot at $1 million during Week 1. That's code KJZ to get a free shot at millions of dollars in prizes with your first deposit. Only at DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
14 days until the Dallas Cowboys kick off the NFL season against the defending Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. On your home for the Dallas Cowboys all season long. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Set your alarm to wake up with us. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
R&R in the morning, and it is a huge day here at R&R or at San Antonio Sports Star. We're giving away Dallas Cowboy tickets today. Yeah. Now, it won't be this morning. We'll have don't worry, you listeners. We'll have them for you. It won't be this morning, but halftime gets going at noon. Rudy J will be sitting in Jason Minnick's seat there at 4 o'clock with the Blitz. And we'll be joined by our previous Rock the Mic champs, current Rock the Mic champ Quentin Hudson, year before Mike Jimenez, who are the hosts of the Sunday Sports Grill. That is, well, it's kind of fading as we're beginning fantasy football, the fantasy gods.
It'll be the first time doing a show with them.
Yeah. Mike Jimenez is a great dude. Quentin Hudson,
I met both of them.
You're gonna enjoy him. Yeah, you met him out at our grand opening, right?
At Slackers.
Yeah.
Well, I met Quinn at Slackers. I met Mike before that.
It's going to be great. And during the day-to-day, we're giving away Dallas Cowboys tickets.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm excited about this, man. We're just around the corner. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers heading in to play a preseason game and then our regular game here in just a couple of weeks.
So you will not see any Tampa Bay Buccaneers out and about in Dallas.
Nope, they'll be
at their
sequestered.
hotel.
Dude, I wonder, do the Cowboys stay at the Star the night before the game? I think they do.
No way.
Forever, as I grew up in Dallas, and this is something I should know, and I'm ashamed I don't. The Cowboys would always get in a hotel the night before a home game, even if they always were put in a hotel, but they would stay in Dallas. They would stay way over in Dallas and bus over to the either to the stadium in Irving when they were still over there, or they went to the new building. I wonder, since they've got that big, pretty hotel at the Star. And by the way, I got a chance to watch Hard Knocks
You loved it.
I loved it
because there was a lot of hype around this episode.
Go watch
it. Lived up to it.
It is. You get to see everything you want to see. You get of course, the drone thing. You hear from Jerry and Jerry flying in his helicopter. You get to see all that. Trayvon Diggs' boy, who is a funny little kid. Alarcon, the story.
Was I on the episode or not?
We're all back it's all back at the Star.
All right. Well, it's over. You know what? Forget HBO. Forget NFL Network. I'm canceling my subscription today.
We'll be right back. You're on R&R in the morning, and this is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Here we go. The Dallas Cowboys live here all season long. Every snap.
I love it.
Every catch.
Let's go have a day, huh?
Every touchdown. Plus, we'll give you the complete breakdown and preview of every game from our experts. Dallas Cowboys insiders and head coach Mike McCarthy. We're all fans.
Yeah! Yeah!
Hear the call from Brad Sham and the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network. Right here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hey, San Antonio, it's time to get out and grill. This is Michael Kielbasa with Kielbasa Smoked Meats. Summer is here, and no backyard barbecue is complete without Kielbasa sausage. We handcraft them the old-fashioned way, the same way we have since 1949. You may want to buy a little extra because your family and guests will be coming back for seconds. Try us today. Find Kielbasa sausage at a store near you.
Staples Connect has everything for back to school at amazing prices. Right now, Crayola 12-count colored pencil bonus packs, 10 plus 2 Crayola marker bonus packs, and Staples pencil boxes are just 97 cents each. Plus, Staples 3-ring binders are only $1.88. With savings like that, your student won't just be ready for school, they'll be totally prepped for the first day. Ready.
It's showtime.
Visit your local Staples or staples.com/back to school today. Ends 9/18. Limit 30, except no limit on binders. Prices may vary online.
If you were hurt in a crash, it's important to act fast. Instead of haggling with insurance, just call Thomas J. Henry. Remember, the call is free and you don't pay us any fees unless we win your case. Contact Thomas J. Henry today. San Antonio, Texas.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
I have a friend from high school who suffers with a degenerative and incurable disease, but who has managed to stay upbeat and optimistic in spite of the difficulties. He says that part of his positive outlook on life comes from something a former boss said to him years ago. As you travel down the road of life, whatever be your goal, keep your eye on the donut and not upon the hole. I admit it's a bit trite, but I really like the sentiment. One of the things the Bible reminds us over and over again is that our thought life is incredibly important because what we focus our thoughts on does affect our general outlook. It's not about ignoring or denying the trouble. You always have to be honest and realistic, but it is about addressing the issues with the best attitude possible. And that is one small way to keep the good in your day-to-day life. This is Mark Absher, the MacArthur Park Church of Christ, reminding you that there's more to the donut than the hole. Visit our church online at macarthurchurch.org. The MacArthur Park Church of Christ, connecting God and people.
Oh, according to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. So 82% of you listening will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. 82% of you will note that if you're hiring, ZipRecruiter finds qualified people for your job. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And 82% of you will remember that you can try ZipRecruiter for free, but you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Yes, free. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Blake Stevens with San Antonio-based GPS of Texas. If you have commercial vehicles on the road, you're a target for personal injury lawyers. I mean, you're wearing a bullseye. Our system can protect you if there is an accident with proof of speed, video monitoring, even proof that your driver wasn't on his phone. Don't get hammered. Have real proof that you weren't at fault by installing our GPS camera tracking system. Call GPS of Texas at 210-587-7634 or gpsoftexas.com.
Did you know the arrow in Amazon's logo represents A to Z? Maybe the My Computer Career logo should represent unemployed to employed. Ryan was out of work when he started classes in March. In September, he started his IT career, working for Amazon, making more money than he ever thought possible. Here's a prime opportunity. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. You could start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Marcus by Goldman Sachs offers personal loans with no fees, ever. Banks offer coffee. So what's more important, a Marcus by Goldman Sachs loan with no fees that could help consolidate debt, or bank coffee that tastes like bank coffee? You can money. Visit Marcus.com to learn more about saving, borrowing, and investing from Marcus by Goldman Sachs.
Investing involves risk and investments may lose value. Brokerage and investment advisory services by Goldman Sachs & Company, LLC. Member FINRA SIPC. Lending and deposits products provided by Goldman Sachs Bank USA. Member FDIC.
Goodyear believes in the power of moving forward. No matter if it's on the track, the court, or the field, movement makes us want to be more. It pushes us to go further, to show the world what we can do. Movement has the unique ability to change our perspective, to challenge us, to work for a better tomorrow. Movement can even bring us together when we're still. Because if we're focused on the next move, we don't have to worry about what's behind us. Goodyear, more driven.
Are you finally ready to sell that motorcycle or ATV that is just collecting dust in your garage? Harley, Honda, Polaris, Yamaha, or anything like it. RumbleOn.com will pay you cash today and admits you have a real cash offer. We will pay you cash before we pick it up. No more strangers coming to your house from a listing site. Use promo code RADIO for an extra $300 on your cash offer. Get your cash offer today. RumbleOn.com. Fast bikes, faster cash.
From the Mother's Window Tint Studios, KZDC, we are San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM. Rob Thompson, Rudy J, R&R in the morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome aboard. It's R&R in the morning, reading and writing and arithmetic. Rudy and Rob. We're glad you're with us. He's Rudy J.
I love how we've taken the A off of it.
Oh, with 3 R's, man. We just following the old school. Karl Schoening behind a double pane glass. We're going to 10 o'clock. I would like to congratulate the Baltimore Orioles. I felt bad for them yesterday. How do you go on losing 19 straight games? That's like
you taking credit for that win.
3-4 weeks of utter just sadness and despair. Well, guess what? They take on the Los Angeles, California Angels, the drug dealing organization in Major League Baseball.
And I think Ohtani was on the mound.
Ohtani on the mound, and they snapped their 19-game losing streak. Hope springs eternal there in Baltimore as the Ravens have finally won a game. And last night, we had a 16-inning game. The Dodgers and the Padres.
Longest game of the season. Dodgers end up winning.
So that guy on second base to start the 10th inning, that didn't work out?
Oh, yeah. That was supposed to speed up the game, right?
I'm all about speeding up baseball. This guy on second base, I don't know.
It's Bush League.
It is Bush League. You've gone to soccer. We're gonna decide a game outside of the rules that we played to get here. We played to a tie after 4 hours, and now we're gonna go outside the rules. We're gonna do something different. We're gonna do penalty kicks where nobody has to do there. We all watch everybody.
College football start on the 35.
That's not so far out of the rules. It is.
It is.
But you're still playing the game where you might have landed anyway.
Under the same rules, but not like
when you start an inning with a dude on second.
That's weird.
When you finish a game doing penalty kicks outside of the game, at least and I'm not saying it's right.
I know what you're saying. I'm
not saying that but it does just kind of, I questioned some things last night. 16 innings sounds like it went real well. I also read that the Chanclas are going to have a jersey giveaway coming up. It's going to be Fernando Tatis.
Oh,
because evidently, we're affiliated with the
Padres,
with the Pods. So I don't remember him coming through here, but evidently he did.
That's cool.
Yeah. You have any Chanclas?
Do I wear chanclas?
No, Chanclas gear. Yeah,
oh, I was like, I'm not a big chancla guy.
You're not a chanclas guy.
No.
You proud of your toes?
I'm not a feet out type dude. I don't really. You rarely. If I'm not on the beach, you're not gonna see my feet. I'm not a socks at the beach guy either. But I'm not a. If I have on slides, I have on socks.
You have on socks,
and that's horrible. That's disgusting.
On the beach, sand and socks.
That's not cool. But like even at HEB, like it's weird seeing socks.
I'm going
to
ask Karl if he's a chancla wearing. Before he answers, what do you think? Is that a yes or no?
Absolutely, he's a toes out guy.
You're a toes out guy.
Yeah, I do, but I made a mistake. I had some great sliders that I used to wear all the time, and then I got some new ones that should last a little while, but they hurt my feet if I wear them too long, so it's kind of good. It's only for the in and out, and now I go closed toe everywhere else.
I don't do the thong.
Nope, I agree.
I don't do the thong.
You don't do the chancla?
No, the thong?
You don't really?
No.
Really? Never?
It hurts. I've tried.
I got bad toenails, man.
You got Hooper's feet.
I got Hooper's feet.
You got Hooper's
I got
feet.
toes going wrong directions.
Yeah,
I got,
you
I got
feet.
the beginnings of bunions. I got bad. When I used to have terrible. This is a very personal story. I used to have awful ingrown toenails. Have you ever had an ingrown toenail? It is the worst.
I've never had one.
Pain,
Knock on wood. I've never had an ingrown.
I got to school. I dealt with it for a long time, and it's awful. You want to talk about something that will put you out of commission is an ingrown big
ingrown.
Oh, and they're gross and awful. So
how you get it out?
That's
pedicure.
Well, you're supposed to cut it a certain way so it doesn't grow wide. Your toenail goes out.
Okay.
Well, I had gone through it for so long. I had a coach go, "This is it. Call a doctor. Let's do this." So I went into a podiatrist, and they went in and they cut my big toenail down to about a 1/4 inch wide, right down the middle, to make sure it never happened again. And it never did. But I have the weirdest looking toes that it's not like a human toe. I don't know what it is, because there's a bit of a toenail, but not much.
So you're not a toes out guy?
No, no, I'm not. But but there's something, you see those old fungus toes, you see those bad,
those are the worst.
Yellow toenails and all that. I don't have that yet.
Okay, cool.
I'm not there yet, but I don't think I can keep it away. I've never seen an old man
without
with
yellow
good
toenail.
feet.
No,
yeah, it's just so it's going to come. So at what point do I just go, all right, I'm out there, baby, and I'm loving it? Because I'm a chancla guy. I wear them. I wear slides and chanclas. I like them, but I just don't wear them out.
Right. No, at the crib, yes.
Because I'm afraid I look like a hobbit.
No, I don't want no one looking at my feet.
Big, nasty, hairy feet.
Nah, man. And I don't even have bad feet. I just don't want anybody staring at them. It's weird.
But I wish I did, because
you're a hooper,
the
man.
chancla life is a good life.
It is.
You just, when you're ready to go, you just go. Just
get I think we should have been getting pedicures. These dudes nowadays, a lot of guys get pedicures nowadays. It just wasn't cool for us.
Minix is a big pedicure guy.
I bet his dogs are on point, though.
Oh,
I don't want to see him.
I don't want to know. But that's more of a girl dad thing. He did
I have
it with
3, and I don't go get pedicures because I don't want no one touching my feet.
You'd need a bandsaw, some kind of rasp.
So you need a lumberjack to do your feet.
I got toenails that are like thick. I could cut a tree down. I could cut you in the bed, knife you.
Maybe, that's what Batella. Maybe we should do Crocs, Rob. I hate the way they look, but I've heard they're comfortable.
When the Crocs first hit about 10 years ago,
okay,
I was a huge Crocs guy. Got a couple, thought they were cool.
Are they comfortable?
They're very comfortable. They are. And then
nurses wear them.
They went away, and now they're back. Now you see them, and you're talking about
my daughter has 3, 4, 5 pairs of J's, all types of kicks. She only wears these damn turquoise
Does she decorate them? She put the little things.
Yeah, put the little stupid pins on them. Like, I'm not buying you shoes anymore if all you're gonna do is put on these ugly ass Crocs.
Now, I had one of those Crocs, like winter Crocs. You ever seen those with like the fur on the inside?
Fur on it?
Yeah.
You love those, didn't you?
No, they look really cool and they are comfortable. But if your feet sweat and then you're in that, it's not a good situation. Now, you weren't. Were you with me when we talked about my unfortunate incident with the housekeeper in my bathroom? I didn't tell you this story.
No, this is one of the stories you left out at Oxnard. Well, I heard a lot of stories.
So a couple
weeks back, not that one.
A couple of weeks back, we hired a new housekeeper.
Okay,
and I had never seen her. She was coming and going on the day, and I had gone into my part of the bathroom and something smelled. I was like, "There's something." So I left a note to the maid. There's something's gone south. It smelled like old laundry. I couldn't quite place what it smelled like, and I was like, just pay extra attention. I know you're new here, and so I left a little note. So the housekeeper came, cleaned the whole house, and I came home, and on the in the bathroom on a sticky note next to my chanclas, next to my slides, was an arrow pointing down to it, and it said it was the shoes. My shoes were sticking up. It was so
Which
bad.
ones were they?
They were like my they weren't chanclas, by the way. They were slides, but they were one of the brands that has like a spongy top.
Oh yeah, those they absorb moisture.
I had not realized how far south those had gone, and evidently they were so bad that the housekeeper refused to even touch them. She just put a little sticky note.
Did you throw them out?
Shoes? No. No, I just hosed them off, sprayed some stuff. They're not worn out.
Wow.
They just smell bad. It's I don't know where we how we got
here. Are you
here.
a Crocker?
No, and I was going to tell y'all to move on from this around the time y'all introduced Crocs. That's well, that's Patello's fault, I guess. He was the one who sent us on that. We'll blame Patello for that.
Blame the list. We're just trying to appease our morning. These guys get up at 7 a.m.
to listen.
To
they're
listen
probably
to us.
wearing Crocs
and
right
if they
now.
want us to chime in on Crocs, we got to chime in on Crocs. You got to appease the fans, Carl. We're in an entertainment business. This isn't about what I like. If this was about what I like, you don't want to know what we be talking about.
I kind of do.
I'm interested in that, actually.
I actually am. My interest is piqued.
Most people, usually feet make them cringe. So feet are a weird thing.
Too. They are.
Yeah.
It definitely makes me
there's
cringe
some other
too.
people that feet go in
I know feet
direction.
fetish. Oh, there's women that make millions off their feet.
Rex Ryan?
That's true.
Isn't he a bit of a
that's
Rex Ryan's made it well known he's into the feet.
Not all feet are created equal.
No, not all at all. But you know what is created equal? Great news, great headlines. You get great headlines,
and great hair.
Your day is made. And if you have great hair and great Crocs, it doesn't get any better than that. That's why Karl is dressed in his Crocs with his great hair, because he has been putting together the headlines that you absolutely have to have. It is time for the 411 and the 210.
Here's the 411 in the 210.
Bring us back in, Carl.
Yes, headline 2 here. Some Jaguars players, quote, aren't thrilled with Urban Meyer, end quote. An NFL analyst says on CBS Sports. Analyst Pete Prisco revealed on the Show Tuesday that he's heard some players aren't fans of the tactics Urban Meyer brought with him from his days as a successful college coach. And he also named Trevor Lawrence the starting quarterback yesterday.
These type of stories always bother me. And Pete is a name that's been around a while, so I'm not challenging Pete. I'm not coming at Pete. But the thing is, like, that's one of those things where you're never going to give up the source. It could be two guys that don't matter. You know, it's like, I don't know. These type of stories, anonymous stories bother me, but I get sources and I get all of that. And Pete, like I said, Pete's been around quite some time. Can we let him lose 7 in a row first?
Well,
can we get to real games first before guys start complaining?
Yeah, what if they work the tactics?
Yeah.
Keep in mind, Jacksonville, that before he got here, you sucked.
And we didn't care about you.
You are awful. You couldn't block. You couldn't tackle. But you made up for it by not having any cohesive offense and an inability to defend. So if he comes in and he's a little hard on you, it's because your team's awful, man. You got to change the paradigm. You got to change the way you think about things. Well, that's one thing. But secondly, whenever a college coach shows up on a pro team, you always hear this because he's used to coaching 18-year-olds, not 30-year-olds. And he's going to say some things that he's accustomed to saying. He's going to do some things that he's accustomed to doing because it works for an 18 to 20-year-old. 30-year-old dude might not necessarily need it. But guess what? You did it before. You'll do it again. You'll earn the right to be a pro in the eyes of a former college coach.
And Urban coached a lot of pros at Florida, a lot of pros at Ohio State. I know they weren't pros yet, but they were pros. And not only that, like, at least we're talking about you, anonymous guy. At least we're talking about the Jags. Be happy.
Now,
be grateful.
We should say this. You better win soon. You better get a game under your belt.
Because as far as Urban?
With every passing loss. Because I've already seen Darrell Bevel, their offensive coordinator, is getting destroyed for what has been termed as a mediocre pedestrian college offense. But you are dealing with a rookie quarterback and learning a new system. I don't think we've seen anything out of that offense, so I'm not going to quibble. But I do know that if you're a player, you read the news. You know what everybody's saying. And if you're losing and you're not losing badly, It could creep in. Urban's got to get a win pretty soon, or those.
I know what you mean.
He's not ready for the game, and all those memes that are going to show up that, he's going to take some time off to work on his health. That's his out that he used in Florida and in Ohio State. That I'm just
it might come back up.
That it might come a little bit quickly, but yeah, everybody chilled just a little bit. Let's settle down. He's got 2 games under his belt. 3 games. Moving on.
Headline 1. Spurs officially signed Bryn Forbes. He'll wear number 7. He wore 11 in his previous tenure. Primo. Josh Primo is wearing 11.
Wow.
Yeah, so Bryn Forbes will switch over to 7. And last year, this comes from Jordan Hallenstein. He is the among only 3 players to make 150 three-pointers while shooting over 45% from behind the arc. Joe Harris, Joe Ingles, and Bryn Forbes are the 3 players who did that last season.
That's a hell of a fun fact. Let me ask you this, Mr. Spur. Primo should have to come off 11. Bryn got tenure. Like, hey, Primo, let me get that back from you. Right or wrong?
Maybe because it's a new
He's a lottery pick.
It's a new
stint.
He is
a lottery pick.
It's a new stint with the team, so
Right.
maybe he wanted to wear a new jersey number. That could be it.
But Primo is a lottery pick. Rob says he's Kobe. I didn't say that. Rob didn't say that. I'm putting words. But if you're new to the show, Rob didn't say that.
I said he's Kobe-ish.
And Bryn wore 7 last year with Milwaukee.
Oh, he did.
So
Okay.
maybe this is a continuation of good luck, because 45% from 3 is really good. Making 150 three-pointers in a season, that's also really good. The Spurs brought in a sniper, and he calls San Antonio his second home. So I'm happy to have him back.
Bryn gets to walk in that room and be like, hey, guys, look at this.
Yes.
He's the
That's
only
true.
one. Is he the only champ in there besides Pop?
They have to wait until he goes into Milwaukee, and that's correct. Yeah.
So he's the only champion in the locker room. Like, hey, guys, this is what it takes.
And we talked yesterday about on halftime with Karl and I about all the players that Pop has developed that got paid and left. This is the first one to come. Well, I guess Danny Green kind of came back. But Bryn went off, got paid.
Got a ring,
came home. Most of those guys don't come home because they find out that most of these guys were products of Pop's system and really weren't going to be successful anywhere but in Pop's system. Bryn went off and was successful in a hybrid of Pop's system under Budenholzer. 45%, that's a good number.
But that's good company to be in.
But if you're going to give me that number, I want to see your defense efficiency. I want to see.
You're always on Bryn's defense,
dude.
Well, but he fell not out of the rotation with the Bucks late in the playoffs, but damn near. He was playing like 6, 7, 8 minutes sometimes in those games.
If you're not hot, you're no good to me.
Right.
If you're not hitting shots, I can't have you on the court because you're a net negative. Good, welcome home, and maybe that number 7.
I'm
plays
happy
defense.
Bryn's back. I
7
like
plays defense, 11 just shot. Maybe that's what it was.
In the playoffs, he played 20 games, averaged 13 minutes per game, and shot 37% from 3.
Yeah.
I like Bryn. I'm happy he's home.
Just play some defense, Bryn. You were the human lost cigar 2 years ago. If you were in with Bellinelli to close a game down, Pop was angling for a loss. He was angling for Keldon. Moving on.
And headline 0, you're going to love this one, Rudy J. A Chinese Olympian is saying that her gold medal is peeling. So just so y'all know, the medals are not solid gold, as we've already talked about on R&R. They're actually made from mostly silver, and for the 2020 games, reused medals donated by the public, and they were also coated in at least 6 grams of pure gold. The Olympic Committee ended up sending a response to Zhu, if I'm saying that's correctly, saying the peeling is actually protective coating and claiming that the medal is perfectly fine.
See, you know what? I'm gonna tell you what this sounds like. This sounds like she had a Rudy moment. Meaning,
I thought this
she
was
didn't know it was. She didn't know it was fake. I didn't know it was fake until y'all told me a couple weeks ago. I had no idea. So she's sitting there thinking that she has a real gold medal, and it starts to like, because if you know it's fake, you're not shocked that it's peeling, right?
Right.
So she didn't know. Poor thing. I feel so bad for her
Because
I was hurt. Y'all remember I was distraught.
Because you felt like not only you get a prize, but you had a little nest egg.
You know,
Something
charging Snicker $10 million for 30-second commercials, and I get Peter Piper gold medals.
In this story, what I found more interesting than anything else is they keep the cast. They keep the thing that they use to cast the medals. So in the future, if you won a medal in the Tokyo Olympics in 2021, or the 2020 Olympics that were played in 2020.
I'm listening.
Say 5 years from now, 10 years from now, something happens and you lose your medal. They keep the cast, and you can, for a fee, go back and have a new medal made. And by
That's cool.
Maybe you show up with your own gold. Not that you'd want to. Maybe
the gold is up in this country.
Yeah, I found it interesting.
I would do that
some years in the future, if for some reason it got misplaced or lost for a few bucks.
Like if I had money, money. I mean, like the ping pong player can't afford to go and buy a hunk of gold.
No,
but like if Kevin Durant wants to go and get a real gold medal made, he can do that.
But for them to say, it's good. Look, my medal's tarnishing. It's peeling off. Make me a new one. No, it's just the protective covering. So the protective covering isn't protecting, is what you're telling me.
It's a chocolate wrapper. You know how some chocolate comes in those gold wrappers? That's what it is. Rob, do we really have like how the movies like banks with big gold bars in them? Do we have those?
Yes.
Like how they have in the movies?
Yes.
That's real.
Yes.
Allegedly.
No, it's not a legend.
We'll see what the government says about that in a few years.
No, Carl, I've been to Fort Knox. I've seen it. There's lots of gold.
Oh, you can actually see it?
Yeah.
Are you sure it's gold? Did you get to bite and touch
Carl.
it?
Yes, Carl. There's gold.
So it's for real gold
Our monetary
bars.
system, while not tied to the gold, is in fact tied to a fair amount of gold. We do have something to back up those dollars. Not all of it. Not all the dollar bills in circulation around the world equal to the amount of gold that the country has in reserve, but we do have a fair amount of gold in reserve. So yes,
never been to Fort Knox,
but that's the monetary system. We don't get into that.
I just was wondering.
We do have. There are caches of gold in a variety of places. Fort Knox being one of them.
Cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's our 411
Carl
and the 210.
Don't believe you though.
No, he does not.
I can tell he does. He's like, dude. That's not
Where
real.
do you think the gold is? Where do you think that we have to have? For the longest time, we were tied to gold.
African gold mines.
You had to have the equal amount of gold in reserve to the dollars that were in circulation. That's how we began, and we left that. William Jennings Bryan.
We just went ahead and said, "Trust us."
Well, there is the full weight and force of the government. Yes. That allowed us to print more money in times of recession. Whole other story. I do want to get into some money. Talking about money. Big news in the college basketball world, but really it's big news in the collegiate world. Imani Bates is
I don't talk about that.
Has been regarded as the next great. There's always, but this kid has been the next great since he was in 8th grade. The recruitment battle started at Michigan State. He has left his former high school at Ypsilanti. They started a small prep school, and everybody assumed that he would go toward the G League. We just assumed it was either going to be Michigan State or head toward the Team Ignite. Well, he announces yesterday, just under the wire, quite frankly, that he has
barely made the deadline.
Yeah, to go ahead and register and be accepted at the University of Memphis. He is going to play at Memphis with Penny Hardaway, and things are kind of coming together. We heard earlier in the week that Memphis had brought in another big recruit, a kid named Judon, and they hired another assistant coach to coach with Penny. Sheed Wallace is going to be there, and they bring in Imani Watts. Well, this is the age of the NIL. He could have not gone to college, gone to the G League, the Ignite team, or that new startup high school league that's run by Kevin Ollie. What's the name of that one? Doesn't really matter, but he could have gone to either. But he chose to stay in college, to go to Memphis, to get the collegiate experience. Why? Because according to his father, he'll make far more on his NIL abilities
than the $500,000
than the money that they would have paid him. So this is the first time, if you're a college basketball fan, you really see benefits to this. This is a kid.
There's a win. There's a win for NCAA.
It is. And we were talking before the show. Rudy made a great point. You know, the second pick in the draft, we didn't get to see last year. He was playing on Team Ignite. He was playing
I never watched
schedule. So nobody had any idea who this kid was until he literally showed up in Vegas. We'd heard stories. Maybe you saw him play in high school.
YouTube from high school.
That was it. So at least Imani Bates will be at front and center, get some college experience, however you want to quantify that.
Games.
Get us on TV. We'll get to see him. I think this is how the NIL, when we talk about it at the end of the day, we want everybody to get a little squalor. We want anybody that's on any team to get paid a little bit to do.
Right.
I mean, it's good. But for us as the fans of the game, Now we're going to get to see Imani Bates play next year. And that's the joy of that, I think, is worth any bit of NIL issue because he can go to college now.
Will he be the first player to have his own March Madness commercial?
Would not shock. That's a good point. It would not surprise me one bit.
How much money goes into those March Madness commercials? It's like the Super Bowl. There are commercials specifically made for the NCAA tournament.
That would be like weird to see. You know what I mean? Like
it's coming.
I agree with you 100%. That would be weird to see. But if you're a lottery pick and you can, and you know your coach wherever you're going to go play at for whatever college says, hey, I got some good NIL dollars for you, I'd go to school. One, you can always go back and get your degree if you decide to. Number two, you get that. I mean, again, you can't beat it into their heads right now, but you can't beat the college experience.
No.
You know what I mean? You can't never get that back. I know we're going to talk a little bit about Herb Street later on, but he says, all the pros I talk to, they all tell me they'd love to go back for one college game. And I'm saying if you can make the money that you're going to get from Ignite or from the G League, why not go to school? Like, look at Suggs from Gonzaga. Look at Mitchell from Baylor.
Right.
Like that, like being on TV, being on that stage, you can't beat that. And you're getting paid. So I see why Monty was like, yeah, why not go to school? The women, you get the college girls, the college campus, big man on campus. And you're on TV all year long. You're on sport. You're going to be on Sports Center all year long. You can't beat that if you're going to get NIL dollars.
And the other part of this is, and as we watch the Spurs transition, I always thought it would be very difficult to roll in as a one and done type, like Keldon was. You're 19 and you're walking into a man's locker room.
Yeah.
And you're looking down the locker room and you see Tim Duncan at 35. I mean, this dude could be my dad. You know what I mean? You walk in, think about how much do you have in common with an 18, 19-year-old dude? I got nothing in common with you but the game itself.
If you're not a relative of mine, as a 44-year-old man, even as a 35-year-old man, if you're not a relative or a friend's kid, I'm not hanging out with an 18-year-old.
It's just
weird.
Yeah, there is nothing you say or do
that you can,
other than just passing conversation. I can hang with you, but I'm not going to have an ongoing relationship with you because we have nothing in common.
Mentor you.
Yes, I will be there for you. But the mentor relationship, that's good in some instances on a team, and others it's not, because while the socialized part of you, how you are maturing in society, is one thing, your game skill is another. So it's very hard to mentor a dude and show him life when he's kicking your ass on the basketball court,
right? Because
that's all he knows. You listen to LaMelo Ball right now get interviewed. Everything he views about the world is from the perspective of a basketball player.
Right.
He's talking about school don't mean nothing, and I don't need this, and we didn't need that. You sound like you're 18. So you get drafted, and I am a college graduate basketball player who has busted my ass for 12 years to learn enough skill just to be in the league. Right. And this kid sits down to me, and you think I'm going to have something in common with this cat? I got
LaMelo
kids his age.
LaMelo been around grown-ups a lot longer than most of these guys. But again, if you can now with the NIL rule, it's a game changer.
So go mature.
You can go to college now and get paid well. Get paid really, really well. I mean, we talked about Bryce Young, the Bama quarterback, making close to 7 figures. So, and again, you can't beat the exposure, because I didn't see Jalen Green, and I wasn't going to go look for G League games. I'm not following Jalen Green that close to where I'm going to look for Ignite or G League, but I was able to see those guys that played in school, and now they can get paid while they do it. So to me, Bates, I fully understand why he decided to go to Memphis.
Good for him. This is the other end of the spectrum. Right. This isn't UTSA kids selling cars over on a car lot. This is a dude making millions at least.
He's probably gonna make $1 million.
And not only impacting his team by good quality, impacting us, I can watch him, but think of the money that's coming to the school. Right. Think of the money just because he's going to be around for the next year. Imani Bates going to be a Memphis Tiger.
Want to pose a question to y'all?
Yeah.
Before we get moving, the first year salary for the #1 overall pick is $8.3 million.
Wait,
the
first year or the first contract, the totality?
No. The first year in the contract, it goes 8.7 the next year and 9 the third year, and then it just increases by like a percentage every year, so much. So,
okay.
So Is there a world and a team that would maybe be able to offer, I don't know, maybe like Memphis, maybe not $10 million a year to a player to keep them for all 4 years?
Well, it couldn't be Memphis. Memphis can't offer. It could be the Yum Corporation that owns Kentucky Fried Chicken that's headquartered there in Memphis that says, we will pay you $10 million as long as you're at Memphis in an NIL deal. But Memphis could not offer that.
They can put it together. The school has to organize it, and it has to be run through the school. So I could see there being agents that actually work for these schools nowadays.
I think that there's a possibility, Carl, but I don't think that's the idea.
It's a little high.
Yeah,
that's a little high.
But I think the 4-year idea that we're going to pay you enough money to
1.5
stay
every year, I can see that.
I think it'll work for 2 years, maybe 2 years. I think it will. I think there will be guys that stay. But the likes of Imani Bates, if you think he's going to be a sophomore at Memphis, you're nuts.
Right. Right.
I mean, if
He's ready
you think
to get to the league.
He's going to successfully complete more than 9 hours as a college freshman, you're nuts.
Right.
He's going to go to class the first semester. Next year, he'll be in class, or this year, he'll be in class.
He'll declare and
he'll
step
declare
away.
But he will stop going to class, as most do, and I certainly don't blame them, as soon as conference play begins in the fall. In the spring. As soon as the spring begins and they're playing the semesters back, he ain't going to class because by March, he's withdrawing from school. He will be done because he's going to announce for the draft. He'll pack up his stuff there at Memphis and he'll go work out with his new agent. So he'll get some class time right now. But if you think he's going to accrue more than 12 hours,
you're right.
Nuts.
August to March at school.
Yeah. So he'll be complete and he'll move on. I like that we'll get to see him for a year. And I do think there'll be guys like, I think the perfect example would be like Corey Kispert we saw coming out of Gonzaga. Guy could have turned pro a couple years ago. He had a legitimate jump shot. Now those guys can stay, get a little bit of money, and continue to improve your game in an environment that is friendly. You got a coach that loves you, that needs you, instead of getting on a bus in the G League and you're fifth on the bench.
Right.
It gives them an opportunity. Hey, we got Trey Ware is roaming the halls. I just saw him watch by. I think he's going to come by and stop and talk with us. We'll look much deeper into the NFL as well. And we got some interesting stories coming out of India. And if you were posing nude on an album cover, say in 1991, and that picture's still floating around, would you be upset? Interesting story regarding Nirvana and a lawsuit. Hang around. It's R&R in the morning. And this is ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
We're rapidly approaching game week in the college football world, and the Texas colleges are starting to make some headlines. Yesterday in a Houston radio interview, Texas A&M coach Jimbo Fisher named redshirt freshman Haynes King the starting quarterback for Week 1 against Kent State. Hudson Card has been trending towards being named the starting quarterback for the University of Texas, according to multiple reports. And according to Pro Football Focus, UTSA safety Rashad Wisdom is the 73rd ranked NFL draft prospect for 2022. Wisdom has been starting since his true freshman year in 2019 and earned coverage grades of 76.3 and 78 over that span. Those are your college football headlines. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Carl Schoening.
Listen up, sports bettors. This is Hall of Famer Warren Sapp here to tell you about my favorite sports book, BetUS.com. I only endorse one sports book, and that's BetUS.com. Just like me, BetUS is the Hall of Famer of online betting with more than 25 years in the biz. Call today, and they will get you set up faster than I can run the 40. I play at BetUS, and so should you. BetUS.com.
Join now and get up to 200% in bonuses on your first deposit. Call 1-800-MY-BETUS.
Tell them Sapp sent you.
Here in Texas, the heat is relentless. The storms are serious. And the hail is insane. Texas weather doesn't do anything halfway. And neither should your roofer. Your roof protects your home and your family. So whether you need a simple repair or a roof replacement, metal or composition, you need a roofer you can trust. That's Stevens Roofing. They are reputable, reliable, and have always been your local roofer. Call Stevens Roofing today for a free estimate at 210-785-0994 or go to stevensroofing.net.
Hi, welcome to Smoky Mo's.
At Smoky Mo's Barbecue, we smoke our meats fresh, in-house, each and every day. We think it makes all the difference in the quality of our moist, flavorful brisket and turkey, and the mouth-watering tenderness of our ribs and pork loin. Got a crowd? We've got group packs and full-service catering. Up early? We've got made-to-order breakfast tacos. Find your store at SmokyMoe'sBarbecue.com and come see us for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Smoky Moe's Barbecue. The pit is lit.
Welcome to Texas, where your backside will sizzle like bacon when you get in your car, unless you go to Mother's Window Tint, home of the Tint and Alarm Special, where you can also buy a new car stereo. Since 1984, Mother's Window Tint has tinted cars and trucks to keep them cooler and stop the sun from damaging their interiors. Texans like dark privacy window tint. Come to Mother's and get some. Legal and guaranteed a lifetime. Remember to protect yourself and your family. Buy an auto alarm today from Mother's. Starter kill, remote start, GPS locator, 24-hour live monitoring. Save $100 on the tint and alarm package of your choice. Austin and San Antonio stores. MothersWindowTint.com. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
You and your phone have been through a lot this past year. It's been your lifeline to the world. And now some big wireless company is telling you got to buy a new phone from them and sign their contract? They don't control you. With TracFone Wireless, you can keep the phone, number, and network you already have. Already got a 5G phone? Keep that too. Because TracFone runs on America's best networks now with 5G nationwide. Plus, we've got unlimited talk and text smartphone plans starting at just $20. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. 5G nationwide access requires a 5G capable device. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Ad paid for by CompleteCar.com. This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to the COVID crisis, we are announcing a low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay nothing for auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay nothing for auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-549-1980 now. Drivers who are covered by this auto protection will not have to pay for a covered repair bill again. This auto coverage is at an all-time low, much lower than what dealerships are charging. Additionally, drivers who activate this auto coverage today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and free rental car at no additional cost. Call for your free quick quote today. 800-549-1985. 800-549-1985. What do you have to lose? Again, 800-549-1985.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Bob Thompson, Rudy J. R&R in the Morning on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It's R&R in the Morning. Welcome back into the studio. We're always glad to run into Trey Ware. We did it again this morning. You know, you get here early enough, you get to see the cool cats, and he was roaming halls. I grabbed him again. Trey, what's going on over at KTSA this morning?
Well, you know, when I walk down the hall, your studio is right by the coffee machine,
yes.
So that's where I have to go to get the coffee, and boom, there we are together.
I'm trying to figure out a way that I can just run a line from the machine right into my arm.
Exactly.
Is that possible?
Yes, it is. I've done it. Talk to the boss. Well, tonight, high school football is kicking off.
We're back, baby. I'm excited.
And I'm ready. You know, my team is getting after it tonight out in shirts. And so I'm super excited about it. They had their vote last night of their school district meeting, and they said they're not going to require masks at the school. They strongly suggest them, but they're not going to require them, which is a cool thing. So, we don't have to wear them at the ball game tonight.
Right.
I was concerned.
You're outside.
And I got 2 dancers on the dance team out there, and I was concerned they're going to mask them up and everything else. Well, they're not going to do that, so that's cool. But some high schools across the country and other schools are making their athletes wear these ankle monitors so that they can stay away from somebody with COVID. Now, you said you saw this at the training camp?
Yeah, when we were at the Cowboys training camp, now I didn't have to wear one, but they had these, these concentric circles of bubble. And the closer you got into the bubble where the players and the teams were, or the coaches were, all of the press and a majority of the coaches wore these contact tracing pins. And if at some point during the day we'd all be standing around and you'd see a coach's thing start to light up a little bit, and that meant they had come in contact with somebody that might have tested positive.
Well, now the Cowboys are having a big problem with it.
Yeah, that was a month ago, and I don't know. It appears that they had a much more stringent plan in Oxnard, and it looks like once they got back to Frisco that things might have lessened or changed a bit, because it has really popped off. We saw it right before the game last Saturday night.
So I don't know where all this goes, because there are high schools across the country, high schools that are now demanding that their players, while they're in school, wear these monitors. They go on their ankle. It's like you broke the law or something.
Well, it is.
Like an ankle monitor.
I understand. I don't understand how far we're going, but there is, last year we built in buffer at times if games were postponed or, you couldn't play due to COVID. This year, at least in Texas, there is no buffer. And they've told the coaches, if you can't play, it is a loss. So it comes down to almost game prep for these coaches. It's not about politics or anything else. It's like, how can I make sure I got my guys on the field?
And so you wonder about the politics too, because the parents are having to sign this waiver that says they can put that right. And so the parents are like, wait a minute, I'm having to sign this thing that tells them it's okay for my kiddo to wear this. But if I don't sign it, he doesn't play Friday night. I mean, the coach says you're out because your parent didn't sign the waiver. Unless, of course, maybe it's a really good quarterback or running back.
Yeah, well, it is Texas. We do need the W, man. We'll just put him in the shotgun. We'll keep him 6 feet apart from anybody else.
Right.
We'll just put him way back there.
He can play in the punter position all night. All right. Wildcat all night.
It might actually work. So football game tonight, you going to go out to the games?
Oh, absolutely.
You know what? I haven't had Frito pie in 2 years.
Oh, is that right?
I need some Frito pie.
Man, where we go, they do Bush's chicken.
Oh, perfect.
And Frito pie. And what they do is they just rip the bag open, pour the chili in there, and give you a sport.
That's how you do it in America. See? That's how you do it.
Right.
If you're putting it in, you're too fancy. You got to put it in the bag.
No, I don't want a bowl. Are you kidding me? Just pour the chili in the Fritos.
I am so psyched about football. So you got 2 in the dance team.
I got 2 on the dance team. One is the Colonel. She's a senior, so she's running the show. And then one is a freshman, so she's a rookie. I don't know which one's in charge of which one, though. Sometimes the rookie tries to tell the Colonel what to do. Not a good idea, I tell her.
High school football is back. Don't forget, we will have you a game tomorrow night. Reagan and Johnson Wagner tomorrow night right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Trey, where you have yourself a fantastic
Thank you, my
day.
brother.
Thanks for stopping
by.
by.
To you tomorrow.
All right. Good to have Trey stopping by the KTSA News Hub down the hall. It's always vibrating. There's always activity in there.
Yeah, it was.
Then you had Sean Ryman, and things get weird.
Yeah, Sean come in with his painted nails and his tatted up chanclas.
Let's hang around. We got so much to get into. We got to go to break. Let's pay for this fantastic show. You're on R&R in the morning, and this is San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN, what we call it, 1250 AM and 94.5 FM.
Who's ready to play some ball? Friday nights under the lights. Don't miss the high school football game of the week. Powered by Hill Electric. This Friday on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
I'm with Dr. Jason Garrett of Arasti. Now, you hear Arasti, Dr. Garrett. Define to me in the broadest possible terms. What is Arasti and why is it so successful?
Well, we're a company that fixes pain fast. Now, that's super vague. What we do is somebody comes in, they've got an ankle sprain, low back injury. We're going to do a history and evaluation just like you would any other medical provider. We have doctors of chiropractic and doctors of physical therapy that are doing the evaluation and the treatment. Once we figure out what's going on, then we apply a very specific hands-on manual therapy to change the connective tissue from a distorted, injured state to a healthy, normal state. Once we do that, then we apply active care. So we teach you exercises to reinforce the tissue change we just created, educate you on exactly what you're doing, why to do it, to keep yourself out of pain so you have a long-term healing.
That's a lot going on for an average of under 4 visits to get these kind of problems fixed. As you address these individual problems, we're not talking about over-the-counter medications or anything like this. This is getting well from the inside out.
That's right. There's no medication, there's no drugs, no surgery, no injections. It's all hands-on. It's 100% natural. The only side effects are sometimes you're a little sore afterwards.
What do we like to call it? Productive discomfort. No pain, no gain to you and I. Now, as you do get in and you work those specific areas, and then the number of visits are so short or so small, why is that? How are you able to fix pain so much quicker than just not doing anything at all or taking an over-the-counter medication or something to that effect?
We have a really strict vetting and recruiting process. So we have an 87% elimination rate of all providers that want to work for us. Once they're hired, then we put them through a very detailed clinical pathways, 12 weeks initially, another 6 weeks on top of that, and then ongoing training throughout their tenure at Orasti, where we hold them accountable to very disciplined clinical pathways. And it's really the time spent with the patient that makes the biggest difference.
Isn't that always the key? Always remember, most insurance is accepted. You certainly don't need a referral. Give them a call. The number, 1-800-404-6050. That's 1-800-404-6050. Check out the website, Orasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Why would you go to Orasti? I'll tell you why. They fix pain fast.
Summertime tips from Paul, Kristen, and Dexter at Total Wine and More. Topping your burger with grilled onions and blue cheese? Take it to the next level with Carbon Cabernet Reserve, rated 92 points, an incredible value.
And nothing beats a buttery Chardonnay with grilled corn on the cob.
Feeling adventurous? Come on in. Let's try a smoky mezcal for mind-blowing margaritas.
Now you can order delivery for as low as $4.99 for a limited time. Find out if your area qualifies at TotalWine.com. Drink responsibly, B21.
Hey, baseball fans. FanDuel is hooking new users up with an instant bonus up to $500 when you make your first fantasy deposit. Just sign up using promo code PLAY and get your bonus today. Then, use that bonus to play in one of FanDuel's big daily fantasy contests, where first place takes home even bigger prizes. You'll love playing fantasy baseball on FanDuel. It's easy to start. Just choose the players you want while staying under the salary cap, and you only need to set one lineup. Take on thousands of baseball fans from across the country, or create your own private fantasy league and play against your friends. The scoring system is simple, and payouts are fast, like 24-hour fast. But most of all, you'll love the variety that FanDuel has to offer. Beginner-only contests, big contests with bigger prizes, daily snake draft contests, and many, many more. So get in on the action and download the FanDuel Fantasy app today and sign up using promo code PLAY so they know we sent you. Again, that's promo code PLAY. Age and location restrictions apply.
Texas Rangers baseball.
Leo 1. Joey looks to bunt toward third. Nobody there. Base hit, Joey Gallo.
Texas Rangers baseball happens here. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hey Alexa, what's for lunch? San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Thanks, Greeny. Come to work today.
How long's Greeny been off?
I don't know if he's working.
He ain't been off longer than Jay Will.
Jay Will.
Jay Will been off since the finals, literally.
You know,
he caught COVID in the finals, and we never heard from him again.
He will have a new host, I guess, when he comes back. September the 27th is the date we believe it'll happen. The switch will occur. Kellerman will join the morning crew at, I guess it'll be KJM for Max.
Or MJK.
MJK. Whatever it might be.
Because Max is making the most, so I'm thinking it's MJK.
He is joining that. We got some huge soccer news. If you're a Man City fan, you don't want to go anywhere. We'll give you that in just a couple of minutes. But I guess it's a pretty big deal.
Kind of. I mean, yeah, Messi earlier.
It's
been a heck of a year.
Yeah, it's been a year of transition over there. That the likes which I can't remember. Mbappe, I think, is next. He doesn't like. You don't want to be a PSG type, does he?
No,
does not. Nirvana's record came out, the one, and we all know which one I'm talking about.
The only
Smells
one.
Like Teen Spirit, whatever that is. The little baby in the pool with a dollar bill. That's 91. Changed the world. Well, evidently.
That album is iconic, though, isn't it?
Were you ever a...
I really had
did you
no
ever get
choice.
Into that? Yeah, I guess
we had no choice.
I guess that when you think of the time frame, we'll get into the value of Nirvana because I think at the end of the day, it's Dave Grohl. I think it gave us Dave Grohl, and he has had such a remarkable role in this. But let's get back to the record itself. So the kid at the time that was in the photo, showed all the twigs and berries, showed all the naughty bits, but it's a baby.
So where are we going with this? What happened?
The guy.
What year did this album come out again?
91, I think.
91.
Wow. It changed the world, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Evidently, his entire life, this has dogged him. He is suing Nirvana, saying that it was sexploitation, that it was child pornography, that to this day he is suffering because people have seen his little something 30 years ago. And because there was $1 put in front of him, it made it pornography because evidently it was paid for sex or something. This is the lawsuit.
This is the lawyer talk.
Now, in this world, you can sue anybody for anything.
Absolutely.
Doesn't mean you are going to win. Does he have any ground to stand on? Do you hear him and go, yeah, I can kind of see that.
So do you... No, he doesn't have any ground to stand on. I'm wondering, so is he suing the label?
Is he suing everybody involved, the band, the label, everybody?
Because the lead singer, he committed suicide, right? So, who has the right to his estate? Was it Courtney? Did Courtney Love get the right to his estate?
If it was the typical estate transfer, yes, she would have taken it. I don't know.
So he's going after everybody then, because the label kind of put this out.
Yeah.
I don't know, like the label has final say. Does Kurt Cobain have final say? This is a weird lawsuit. And why did he wait till now? Why not do it when you're 20?
Got a lot of questions. That's just one of them. I can kind of see some of it though.
Okay, tell me which parts of it you can see.
I can kind of see when you're young and that picture goes out. You're an old dude every time, but no one has to know it's you. At the end of the day, my point is, how do we even know you're the guy?
I know, that's the other thing. There's a million babies.
The only reason I would know it was you is if you told me it was you. It was 30 years ago.
I didn't even think about this. It was a weird album cover, though.
The guy's name is Eldon Spencer. His parents never signed a release authorizing the use of his image. They just used
okay,
it.
now we're working. Now we're working.
He also alleges the nude image
I'm leaving.
constitutes child pornography. The image exposed Spencer's intimate body part and lasciviously displayed Spencer's genitals from the time he was an infant to the present day, says his attorney.
This is a real story, Rob.
This is a real story.
You know what? I'm going to tell you this. I can't sit here and tell you with a straight face. I like to be real, Rob. I'm big on being real. If that was me on the cover, I can't tell you that if a lawyer called me and said, hey, Rudy, I think we got something, I can't sit here and tell you that I wouldn't roll with it. I can't tell you that I would hang up on the lawyer and be like,
be because you felt that you had been
it's a money
sexualized
grab. Right.
and taken it. It'd be just because, hey, man, there might be some money in this.
I got a shot. Maybe they settle. Maybe they want to cut me a check for 1.5 and then I'll go on about my business.
That's where I see this going, because a baby can't consent to nude photos. And if he hasn't ever received a cut at all, then this seems to be somewhat of a money grab, but maybe he legitimately just doesn't want that out there. And who knows, maybe anytime you Google his name, it's known that he is the person. I wouldn't know, but everybody Googles themselves these days. And if that's what comes up when you Google this guy and that's the first question somebody asks, like in a job interview, kind of street cred cool, but at the same time, I can understand.
Yeah, I feel you.
I can understand where this guy is coming from, and he deserves a little cut of how it's a huge selling CD.
But I thought we were. Let's say he was 10. Not cool.
Oh, absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? I thought baby nudity was. Okay.
It is.
I don't know. Help me figure that out.
It has been, for the most part, considered okay to publish nude baby pictures. That has not been considered anything outlandish or illegal.
You said the parents didn't consent.
Well,
now they might have. Now he may have something, considering his parents didn't sign anything from the label. The label didn't come to them and say, "Hey, can we use this?" or consent to these photos. That seems like it's worth a couple million, right?
Well, the story gets deeper.
Let's go deeper.
I'm gonna go Paul Harvey on this.
Let me put my scuba gear on. I like going deep. Let's go.
So some years ago, At 23, the same guy, Eldon, told The Guardian, a newspaper in London, in England, I'm 23 now and an artist. And this story gave me an opportunity to work with the Shepard Fairey for 5 years. I don't know who that is, which was an awesome experience. He's a huge music connoisseur. When he heard I was the Nirvana baby, he thought that was really cool. In 2008, Spencer's father, Rick, recounted the photo shoot at the U.S. radio network NPR, saying that he had been offered $200 to take part with a photo shoot, and the photographer was going to be a family friend. We just had a big party at the pool, and no one had any idea what was going on. The family quickly forgot about the photo shoot until 3 months later, they saw the Nevermind album and the cover blown up on the wall, the Tower Records in L.A., and it was their big old baby boy with a big old something, a dangling participle on the front participle on the front cover.
Take a sip.
Since that last interview, things have changed, though. According to The Guardian, back in 2019, Weddle said that he was still in contact with Eldon, the writer, the photographer, and conflicted about the picture. He feels that everybody made money off of it, and he didn't. So this is not about anything else other than everybody's gotten paid. Right. He is suing 15 different defendants for $150,000 each, from the photographer to the band to the record label to the A&R guy, anybody involved to the printer.
So he's suing them.
He's suing everybody, and the total works out to, well, you do the math.
I'm with, again,
I think he's going to get paid. I think he's going to get some money.
So then it's not that stupid.
Oh, well, I think it's stupid.
Is it?
Oh, it's stupid. If you felt at some point your life had been ruined, I think you'd have felt it 5 years ago, 6 years, 10 years ago. He felt pretty good for a while, but no, it's no longer paying off, I guess. But I do think at the end of the day, he's going to have to supply something to prove he got paid. And I think it's bad press. I think he's going to end up with a little bit of money. He's not going to get all he's asking for.
I think he's going to get paid too.
He sees a path to get some money, and hey, good for him, I guess.
Tower Records even around anymore?
I think the building is.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I think the building's around, but are they still a working entity? Like, do they still have money? Is it still a thing? Tower Records is old school.
Did we ever have a Tower Records here in San Antonio? I don't think we did.
I don't think so.
Where did you go buy your records and your music back then?
Sound Warehouse.
Sound Warehouse is where we'd go. Over on San Pedro, I remember hitting that.
Mine was on Walsham.
Walsham?
Mine was on Walsham, yeah. Every Tuesday. Albums came out on Tuesday back then.
Traditionally, things still drop on Tuesday. Yeah, Sound Warehouse, Hog Wild. But most of mine came from that penny and 1 penny and 25
damn
CDs.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna.
That's crazy story though. Crazy story. I remember
absolutely
that iconic album cover, iconic album, iconic artist. Crazy way he went out.
I first read it and I was skeptical, but the more I see of this, I do think that he might have a bit of a claim.
We have to get the Thompson law firms. I have to get the Thompson law firm answer on this. I wonder what Jason thinks.
I can tell you this: the attorney that's handling this is like, I got nothing else to do.
What you know?
You know what? Let's try it.
Like, why not shoot it? Shoot your shot. You miss 100% of shots you don't take.
You got paid $200.
Hastings music.
Oh, Hastings.
Remember Hastings?
You got $200 to go ahead and I'm trying to find the number.
Got $200. That's it.
$200 for the photo shoot, and I'm trying to find the number of records sold of the Nevermind record.
Oh my gosh! I'm going to guess it's Diamond. Minimum, I'm going to guess it's Diamond, which is 10 million.
Oh, at least.
So,
minimum.
Which is why he should just go ahead and say he deserves some kind of royalty percentage, because obviously this is against his will.
Oh, you ain't getting a royalty percentage. I'm giving you a dollar amount and telling you to go away and never
royalties,
to it again.
Royalties are forever.
Yeah,
that's true.
You're getting a couple of bucks so you can shut up and smile. And whenever we talk about you, you'll grin and say, yeah, it all worked out. And you're going to go away and you're not going to be allowed to talk about it. That's how this is going to end up. And everybody going to get a little bit of money.
Yeah, baby nudity I thought was okay.
As long,
I don't know.
And it's been traditionally kind of set aside that it's relatively safe considering the environment and where the picture is seen.
Yeah.
Let's get away from this.
Let's go.
Well, let's talk some sports. Next hour, we promise it'll be at least 60% sports.
Not a chance.
You're on
Not a
chance.
chance.
This is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Rangers on the radio.
Here's the pitch and the ground ball left side. Diving Culberson, he's got it. Throws to second in time for the force on Walsh.
It's San Antonio's favorite addiction.
And there's a high drive, well hit left center field. Way back at the wall, Lewis and Trammell, and it is history. A 3-run Jimmy Jack for Adolis Garcia.
Go ahead.
have another hit.
San Antonio's Sports Star. ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hi, everyone. Michael Kielbasa with Kielbasa Smoked Meats here. When you bring a package of our smoked sausage home, keep it simple. It's handcrafted in small batches and fully cooked, so you can just heat it up and enjoy. My favorite way to eat it is on a bun with mustard or wrapped in a tortilla. Try some from a store near you today, and if it's not the best you've ever tasted, I'll give you your money back. Guaranteed. Find Kielbasa at a store near you today.
It's a baseball summer, and the Missions are back on at the Wolf this Tuesday for $2 Tuesday. The Missions battle the Amarillo Sod Poodles. Come out and enjoy $2 tickets, parking, beer, and sausage wraps. Gates open at 6 p.m. with the first pitch at 7:05. Go to samissions.com for tickets and details. That's samissions.com. Wolf Stadium is now open to 100% capacity for Missions baseball. Let's get back to fun. Play ball! Your source to local news and sports in San Antonio begins with the San Antonio Express News. We've collected, written, and shown the stories that matter most to San Antonio. Look no further than the San Antonio Express News to continue to provide information and strength to the community. Whether it's on the field or on a court, we provide the ground local coverage. Go to expressnews.com for the most up-to-date high school and college sports coverage. Subscribe today at expressnews.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts is here to keep your car on the road with the right parts, advice from our parts professionals, and our free loaner tool program. Your local store has more than 80 specialty tools available for your next repair. Refundable deposit required. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and ask about our free loaner tool program or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
El Wedo's Automotive Paint provides quality coatings and selection of paint supplies for your automotive finishing needs. El Wedo can match any color for that specific work you're doing. And if you own a car painting or body shop business, you have to compare prices with El Wedo's paint supply to start saving today. Come check us out at El Wedo's Automotive Paint for quality coatings and a great selection of auto painting needs. Located at 3108 West Avenue. Call us at 210-749-3116. 210-749-3116. Check us out on Facebook or Google at El Wedo's Automotive Paint.
Prescription products require an online consultation. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
Think you might have ED? Not sure? Well, we'd like to let you in on a little secret. ED is common. About 40% of men experience ED by age 40, but the solution is simple. Find it at 4hims.com.
I didn't have to talk to a doctor in person. There was no copay, and the medication was shipped right to my door in discreet packaging.
Hims took care of it, fast and easy. Now our love life is better than ever.
Get access to doctors online who can prescribe you FDA-approved ED medication if appropriate. The same active ingredient as name brands, but 90% cheaper. Skip the waiting rooms and pharmacy lines. Get a free medical consultation and rise to the occasion or your money back. Go to 4hims.com/radio to get your first visit free. No copay required. The only way to get this special offer is to go to 4hims.com/radio. FORHIMS.com/RADIO.
Nobody protects you from mayhem in Texas like Allstate. I'm a broken traffic light. Stop and go is the name of my game. It's easy. You go, they go. Or was it they go, you go? And if you have the wrong car insurance, these repair costs could stop you in your tracks. So get Allstate's new low auto rate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Not available in every state based on coverage and limits selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
It's like I blinked and suddenly all my business shifted to e-commerce.
Now, my business hours are whenever my customers need me.
My customers want everything now and faster than ever. It's a whole different world.
Your business is changing. The United States Postal Service is changing with it. We're bringing you fast, reliable shipping nationwide, and we're bringing it right when your customers need it. Let's discover new routes. Visit USPS.com/new routes. The United States Postal Service. Priority you.
Benito's line cook just threw in his kitchen towel.
This order needs to go out right now.
He needs to find help before his customers are left waiting.
So sorry. We'll be right with you. Who's got table 6?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like the course keeps changing right before your eyes. Whoa! And in order to maneuver it, you need an expert by your side. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the tech solutions you need to help you get out in front and stay ahead of the game. Woo! Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL and do more with modern devices in Windows 10 Pro.
From the Mother's Window Tint Studios, KZDC, we are San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM. Rob Thompson, Rudy J, R&R in the Morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, yay.
You still thinking about that?
I can't get over it, man. I don't understand how a grown man just goes, you know what, I don't like my name anymore. I want to be known as something completely different.
Yeah. I already got my cards. I guess I can't change my name.
Oh, no, there's plenty of time.
My business cards.
I think you should. I think you should go to 2 letters and that's it.
Raj. R-A-J. I go Raj.
No first, no middle.
Raj sounds kind of sexy foreigner.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Raj is in town.
You can pull it off.
Girl,
I think you could.
Girl, Raj is in town. Y'all be good this weekend. I'm going to be with Raj. I sound like a soccer player that just got transferred.
Ooh,
you see that radio? Dog, I'm a pro. No,
that's what you call a transition right there.
That's restaurant quality transitioning, baby.
It's a strange world that we're living in,
yes, in
the soccer vicinity. I've never really paid attention to player movement in soccer because it doesn't seem like it happens all that often.
No. Well, not with some of the stuff we've been dealing with.
Because we're talking about $250 million when we're talking about moving these guys. And that's before they even get paid. So those kind of moves just seem to be, you figured Ronaldo and Messi would stay with their respective rosters, at least their non-national teams for a long time. And for both of them to move in the same year, I've found to be very interesting. Now, Man City has been successful. They've won some in the last 5 years, right? They've gotten something, right?
I think so.
I think within the last 3, right?
Look,
because Man U was the one. They were the Red Devils forever, and they were the one that was consistent. But I think Man City a couple of years ago. Forgive me for
whatever. You good?
But it turns out that Man City has got a huge signing.
Yeah.
Carl, who do we got?
We got a 411 and the 210 teaser right there. Y'all find out if you stick around.
Stick around.
But before we do, I'm going through the socials, and I saw a picture of Keldon Johnson at a gym last night. One of the local AAU squads had a run together. Keldon standing amongst the youngsters, the basketball players down at St. Cecilia's Church. Practice was going on there, and I thought, when was the last time we had seen a Spur out and about like that? Like, this is really cool to see Keldon out. And this is not the first time by any stretch we've had him in studio here. We've gotten a chance to meet his agent and his boys. I've seen, and I know people that have run with my son's played basketball with him and kind of gotten to know him. He has really become as much a part of this city as quickly as he has. I can't think of another Spur that has, really ingratiated himself to a city this quickly. Timmy was Timmy.
No. I'm even going on that level. I'm just trying to think on a lower level because Keldon's not that yet, but he could be. Because the thing about it, you can move more freely when you're a Keldon, when you're not a Tim, a Tony, a Manu. But even the guys, that's what I'm trying to think on that level, the guys that are able to move freely.
None.
I can't think.
There's no one that comes to mind.
Not with the potential to be the best player on the team.
And I'm not taking away from Lonnie. Lonnie was out during the BLM movement and walk and the marches. Yeah. He was out being part of the community.
At the taco stands.
Absolutely. And he was, and I'm sure
remember that.
And Coach Pop was very much a part of, if you guys want to get out and be a part of this, go, do what,
wear a mask.
Be actualized and do all that. But to see Keldon moving around, and I brought it up to Rudy, like, hey, that's pretty cool. My son was out there. And Rudy turned to me and said, I think this is the Spurs. I think the Spurs realized they made a mistake.
I think they realize times have changed. We're no longer a power. And we got to kind of let these guys kind of let their wings, spread their wings and kind of do some things they want to do on their own. Like, there was a time where, you're not going to see guys just popping up in studio. Like, I don't know, who knows? But I feel like at some point you have to know either you change or you get left behind, right? And with number 21 now doing, mixed martial arts and jujitsu.
You see those pictures?
Yeah, Tim looks in better shape now than he did ever in his whole career. I think he could still get 8 and 10, but that's another point. But yes, I do think they've changed. I don't know if they admitted they made a mistake, because I think in their minds, a lot of that had to do with Kawhi and his team more than it had to do with us not letting him do what he wanted to do. I'm using air quotes.
True.
But at the same time, it's like, this is a different brand of kid that's coming into the league. They're no longer 3-4 year college guys. They're not the guys coming from overseas. They're not the guy that's been a journeyman like Bruce Bowen. It's a whole different brand of basketball player we're dealing with, and we can't micromanage them for 24 hours a day. And I think Keldon's a perfect example of them realizing that.
Product of the social media era.
Yes.
So do you think that there's lessons learned for Kawhi, or Kawhi was such a unique incident with his uncle and the injury and everything else that it was a kind of a perfect storm?
Some of it is from Kawhi.
But the reins have been loosened a bit.
Yes, like. Because if you look around the league, teams are letting, if you look in the NFL, teams are letting their stars or potential stars have say. Aaron Rodgers wanted say. Trae Young, I'll take the max, but I want John Collins. Greek Freak. I don't know what we're going to do. Do something. I don't know what we're going to do, but we better do something. So we're in the era now where you got to listen, because, again, Keldon, gold medal winner, has the potential to be our next guy. He has the potential to be next superstar. May not want to tell him he can't go and do an interview if he wants to. He may not want to tell him he can't go to a local gym and hoop if he doesn't want, if he so chooses. There's certain things, of course, you still got to run by the team. We still work for someone. We still made you a multimillionaire. But then there's some little things that you just like, who cares? Let's let them be.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
No, it absolutely. You get so accustomed to only seeing your Spurs out at a Spurs sponsored event.
Right.
They're dealing with a client or a sponsor, or they're giving away and that's wonderful. And the Spurs have always been a great community partner. But to have them out and about, I mean, we knew Danny Green had a very active social life. Danny was out. We saw him.
I love
Danny Green was out.
Love me some Danny. Great wedding, brother.
It was low key out. You heard it from others, but it was never newsworthy. But I'm not accustomed to being out and about and just seeing a Spur. And I don't think San Antonians are. And in most professional cities, you grow accustomed to seeing those guys out. Now, some of it's because we only have one team and there's only 15 of them. But when you go out to Dallas and the Cowboys are there and the Mavericks are there and the Rangers are out and the Stars are out, I can give you 100 different instances where I've been out and about and seen those guys. They felt like they were part of the community. Did anybody ever see DeMar DeRozan anywhere in this city?
I never saw them. But DeMar is a different cat. DeMar is a private cat, and DeMar, yes. Jonathan brought up someone we just saw on the Facebook Live. I did hoop a few times with Antonio Daniels. Antonio was a man of the people, Rob.
True.
Antonio was a man. You're right, Jonathan. That's a good one. Antonio, and he was Timmy's best friend at the time. I don't know if they still are. Maybe they still are, but they were really tight. You would see Antonio at Full Court, Full Life, or whatever it was called. I forget what the gym was
Broadway,
called.
right?
Yeah, you see him hooping.
Played with him there too.
Yeah, you would see Antonio out hooping and stuff like that. So he's one of them.
In fact, Antonio was probably the last who has always been part of our city.
Yeah.
And the reason he is so much beloved. I mean, the camps, the things that he does around San Antonio, you see him. He's part of our community.
Right. But I think it's also tough for them, Rob, in a city when you're the only team.
Absolutely there is.
You just don't want to be bothered. It's not like you don't like people. It's just like, dude, if we had 5 teams like a Houston or like a Dallas, probably see guys out more. But when you're the only show in town, you're like, I don't want to be bothered. I'm not going anywhere.
But I do think that there is a generation of us that were us of San Antonians that were of age at the time of when Pop took over and the change in the the dynamic of how the Spurs were run, and they became this well-oiled machine, and the press and publicity was kind of pushed off to the side. The win's the thing, and that's all that matters. We grew up, I think most of us now that were of an age, you see a Spur out, you point at him, but you're not going to go bother him. There's always a few.
No.
There's always a few, but I think San Antonio, more than most, is pretty accommodating.
You know who you would see? Rudy would rip and run. Rudy, I mean, I know he's not like a lifelong Spur, but Rudy took DJ classes with a good friend of mine. He learned how to DJ. You would see Rudy out. Rudy was amongst, and Rudy 6'10", legit.
Yeah, you see him.
But so you see Rudy. So, and you know what? It's not all bad. You have a great relationship with Tom and those guys over there. I'll tell a quick story. 2018, it's last minute. I'm at my former place. I don't even really know about getting credentials for something like an all-star game. I hit the NBA up. Hey, I want to go to LA. I want to get credential for the all-star game. I do this. I do that. I've been on air this long. You kidding me?
Crickets.
It's no, like 30 minutes later. Are you kidding me, dude? It's 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
We have nothing.
Yeah.
I emailed Tom. I'm not gonna say his last name because I don't think he will. I emailed Tom. Tom's on vacation on the beach somewhere. Responds to me in 15 minutes. Hey, I'm on vacation, but let me get you with Chris. Chris gets back to me in 10 minutes. 30 minutes later, I have a credential. All of a sudden, the NBA has room for me after I talked to Tom and Chris. This is within like a 30-minute span. So it's not all bad, but they answer to somebody that says, look, we're minimizing. We're not going to have them doing all X, Y, and Z, but the people down at the Spurs, like, depending on what's going on, they look out for it. Because, again, the NBA laughed in my face and was like, dude, get out of here. Who are you, local San Antonio dude? I know LaMarcus Aldridge made the All-Star team, but get the heck out of here. Tom and Chris got that taken care of. In 30 minutes, the NBA all of a sudden had room for me. So it's not all bad.
No, I'm not.
And I'm not saying that you were saying that.
Yeah, they work under the parameters that are given to them. And in every organization, it starts at the top. And that's
the top,
Pop.
right.
That doesn't mean they agree with it, but Pop is going to the media will cover the game. That's all that matters. And that's all you're going to get.
Bingo.
You're not going to get anything else.
Yeah.
You get the game. And you get the stuff that goes into the game, but that's all you're ever going to get from us. And I understand that. We saw this with the Houston Texans. When Kubiak was the head coach of the Texans, it was free-flowing. You could walk around. You could meet the Texans.
Really?
Heck, it used to broadcast live from their practices.
I remember that. I was watching from afar. I remember that.
Sit in the bubble and watch a practice from the sideline. Not any. I mean, that was. And then Obe shows up and that's it.
They cut it off.
It wasn't like their media department changed. The guy who ran the place changed. So Pop has an atmosphere, which in the broadest definition, that's really what it should be. And that's what it was in the 90s because there was no other access. All you ever knew of your guys was what you read in a magazine or what a friend told you about when they saw them out. Now, between Twitter and social media, times have changed, and Pop has steadfastly held on to, if you want anything, you're going to get the game, and that's it.
I used to be a little bit salty at Tony and Manu sometimes that they would give the juicy stuff to Laquip. How you say it?
Laquip. Yeah, we're in France.
And then what was the Argentina paper? Like they would give them the juicy stuff. I would be a little bit salty, like, damn. Like, not even for me. Like, I didn't even feel like I was worthy, but like, damn, Jeff McDonald been doing this thing for a long time. He has to follow y'all around every day. Or Mike Monroe when Mike was covering, or Orsborn. I'm like, damn, these dudes around y'all every day. And like, you give the juicy stuff to Laquip, you give the juice to them, which is cool. But then like, or even with Tim, like, you know, when he did the interview with was that his buddy or his brother, where they're just sitting at the table, they're just chopping it up. I was like, I had no problem with that. Ryan Nagel can't get one of those. Don can't get one of those. Like a part of me was a little bit salty, like, damn.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like these guys been like, and they giving you your space and privacy for 20 years. They can't get a little bit of that juice? Just a touch. Again, I didn't feel like I was worthy. I don't think I paid enough dues to deserve something like that. So this wasn't even for me. This was me looking out for the guys that I'm looking at every day that's like at practice, at the interviews, at the press conferences, at every game, traveling on the road, poured champagne with you. They can't get a little bit of juice.
Just one nugget, man. Just give me a little something.
He pulls something in my hand.
Well, a classic example of this. She just she announced her retirement. McMillan, the
Jackie McMullen.
She just announced her retirement. We found out about, and this is petty, this is minor, but this is what Spurs fans want to know. We found out that they put a urinal in the shower. She wrote about that. That's something that should have just been common knowledge. We should have all known.
Didn't know that.
No, I didn't know it either, but they put it in
That's cool.
Yes, everybody went, what a great idea.
Yeah.
We find that out.
So you won't pee in the shower.
It wasn't anybody local, which, by the way, I will. Wasn't anybody local. It had to be dropped from as a local type, we've always felt like, come on, man. We abide by your rules.
No, we sit back. Yeah.
We sit back and we just hope for a little nugget, and you're going to give it to international or national? Come on now. But I understand.
Yeah, I get it too. Like, hey, y'all see me every day. Let me give my people something.
I will say this, though. You can sense the change. You can see that lessons
were
learned.
Just Keldon alone.
We're not going to hug and squeeze and hold on to our beloved Keldon like we did with Kawhi and try to wrap him in safety and make sure you're completely protected, because even with that, somebody shows up from outside and will change your mind. And these young kids have come in with a completely different expectation of what an NBA player is supposed to be. And I appreciate the fact that we see guys like Keldon out. We see Lonnie running about. And certainly Patty Mills has been very much part of our community. And
I love me some Patty.
Yeah,
Patty's a part of it. Patty's definitely a Spur for life.
Don't ever leave our city.
Yeah.
Please consider us your second home, Patty. Because
shout out to Patty.
You have certainly earned the right to be a San Antonian in the puro way.
Love Patty.
You've crossed that line.
Yeah, he's puro.
He is absolutely there. We need to get you updated. Let's get you caught up on all of the sports news, the headlines that you require. We call it the 411 and the 210.
Here's the 411 in the 210.
It's a soccer-heavy 411 and the 210 this hour.
Let's talk it.
Breaking news, Cristiano Ronaldo will be going to Man City.
Wow. The transfer is complete.
Yep. Well, there's a Twitter complete as it gets. We'll have to see how official it is.
Okay.
But
did we jump the gun, or is it legit?
I'm pretty sure it's legit. But you'll have to deal with him actually playing in a jersey before it hits you.
He's LeBron-ish. I want to say this is like his fourth club. LeBron is like one of the GOATs, regardless how you say it. This isn't like LeBron jumping teams because he sucks. You know what I mean? Like. Mm-hmm. So that's how I feel about Ronaldo. Like, you started Manchester United, you got Juventus, now you're going over to Man City. I think I missed one.
Real Madrid.
So this is like your fourth squad, but at every stop, your dominant self.
Have they won everywhere he's been? I mean,
he's still been Ronaldo.
Mm-hmm.
There's no real fall off. And Messi, that's totally different. But in the same year, Messi and Ronaldo, they've always been joined at the hip. So it's crazy for them to both be on new teams this year. So that's huge news in the soccer world. I'm sure I'm willing to bet it's number one on Twitter.
Moving mountains, man. If you're just joining us, news is coming around that Ronaldo is leaving for Man City. Where was he before?
He was at Juventus.
I wanted to say Barcelona.
I would bet he's top 3 trending on Twitter easily.
I'm looking it up right now, and apparently American Horror Story is number 1.
Oh, that's good stuff. I love that show.
AEW Wrestling Dynamite is number 2.
Because Giannis was there.
Oh, is that what it is?
I thought it was because of CM Punk.
No, Giannis was there last night.
Oh, there you go.
Spider-Man still remains 5. I'm trying to find it. I don't see Ronaldo trending yet.
Trending. We're ahead of the game. We caused the trend. Cool. We talk about it, then it trends. So in 1 hour, you're going to see it absolutely happen.
And this is United States trending, so this is international news.
Forget United States.
Most of us still asleep.
Yeah.
Heading west, they don't even know yet. Moving on.
All righty. And hey, we stick in soccer. The MLS All-Stars beat the Liga MX All-Stars in a shootout. Matt Turner, the goalkeeper for the MLS All-Stars, had some heroics as he made 2 saves in the penalty shootout, and Ricardo Pepe scored the decisive goal in the 5th round to give the MLS All-Stars a victory over Liga MX All-Stars. And that was in Los Angeles last night. Should have been a bigger deal, but I guess we kind of glossed over it.
It's funny.
I think you had the Dodgers, you had Ohtani. You had Ohtani on the mound, you had the Dodgers in the 16-inning game. I don't know. I'm trying to help them out. I'm trying to figure out why it wasn't a bigger deal.
I feel like I didn't hear about this until like after it happened, so it should have been a bigger deal.
5 in the morning. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
I did see that while you said we might have wanted to know, I read an article yesterday that MLS TV ratings have really jumped over the last couple of years.
Soccer has jumped in the States in the last few years because people are scared of football and because soccer is such a great sport and more people are starting to like it, man. So I'm not shocked that the ratings are up because if you look in the buildings, like a Seattle game, those are. And then I'm hearing the Austin games are just as phenomenal.
Austin games are an experience because it's right by the Domain. If you've ever been to the Domain, it's just
I love the Domain.
It's
Beautiful
a really
place
awesome place. Yeah. And then you can pregame there, you can postgame there. It's a fun time. I want to check out as soon as I can, but the tickets are like at least $100.
Yeah, I got to get a little bit more money.
MLS.
We can get his pass.
I didn't realize that
let's get it.
That the ratings had gone up. But do you go out of your way to watch soccer? I mean, do you look for games? No, even though you played it?
If I come across it.
You will? Like, are you a Sunday afternoon Premier League? If you see it, you'll watch it? No.
Yeah, no. If I could come across it, but am I gonna like
oh my
get
goodness,
together and find my scarf?
Like I'll wake up at 6:30 in the morning on Sundays to watch F1, not like that. By the way, they're back. Verstappen's got to overtake Hamilton this weekend. We'll get you completely caught up with that. Moving along on the 411.
So just an update on headline 2. Frank says that Ronaldo and Man City have agreed to terms, but Juventus wants a transfer fee still. So Juventus and Man City need to agree to terms before that is official. So thank you, Frank, for helping us out on the Facebook Live feed.
Frank's a huge soccer guy. He's a Bears fan, but he's a huge soccer guy. Like he's the Sunday morning, find your scarf, find a pub, drinking beer by 8:30 guy.
And fighting by noon.
Fighting by noon.
Man, I need to be a soccer fan.
I think you do.
All right. Headline 0, Nick Saban is not playing the I don't know who my quarterback is or I'm not telling you media members game. He instead praises his quarterback, Bryce Young, saying he's played really, really well.
I am on the Nick Saban train. I'm for naming your guy. This is my guy, my team. Look at this guy. I've decided now he is the one. It's a meritocracy. You can't name a guy who the rest of the team doesn't think deserves it. But if everybody looking around and we all know,
well,
he's won.
When you sign $1 million contract, you're probably going to be number one.
You kind of got to do that.
I don't think that company wants their $1 million on the bench. Like, hey.
Which is an interesting thought.
See, if you get benched, I bet you these companies have it. You get benched,
you lose your money.
You lose your money.
You lose your money. No, well, we knew what's his name, Bryce Young. That's his name, Bryce.
Yes,
this guy was going to start. We've seen him. I saw him in high school. The guy could play.
Right.
But I appreciate a head coach doing that as opposed to what I'm seeing from Shanahan in San Francisco.
Speaking of starting, I saw y'all's QB. I looked him up yesterday when I left. I saw some of the things he did at spring game. I saw the 16-0 at Longview to a state title, 6A. Y'all got you one. Y'all got you one, and you might have him for 2-3 years. Y'all got one.
Is there any comparison that you saw from him? Anybody that you would compare him to, like another quarterback?
Let me go back and look again. I was just watching him to see what he did. I didn't think about comparison, but the thing about it is, I'm not gonna say Aaron because he doesn't have that arm strength.
No,
but he's a pocket guy, but he has the ability to get away. He has the ability to get away.
You
so
watch
that's
some of those Longview headlines,
right?
And the way he can drift out of the pocket without really scrambling,
throwing on the move,
and moving and throwing. That is something that most have to be taught once they get to college. And this kid's already got it. He looks like the real deal.
Y'all got one.
I'm a battered Aggie. I've got that syndrome. I got to see it.
You just know something's gonna go wrong.
Just it's built into us, man.
The thing about it, man, y'all have a defense. Bama has a new QB too. If there's gonna be a year, you get them.
Don't forget.
If there's gonna be a year, where's y'all's game this year?
At here.
Oh, it's here.
Bama's coming. Yes.
Nice.
If you want to get in that building on that weekend. It's going to cost you $3,000 just to consider that one.
That was a few weeks ago. It's probably up to $5,000 now.
Dude, the tickets that game sold out the moment that they went on. And you go look at the resellers. It's $3,000 just to come see this one. Now I pretend the battered Aggie. We all talk the battered Aggie. We plan for the best, but we expect the worst.
Right.
That we all buy tickets because there is this belief that this is the year. It's going to have to happen this year.
Agree with you.
And it just didn't turn out with a young quarterback, but everybody else seems to be absolutely prepared. The 4-1-1 and the 2-1-0.
Good stuff, Carl. 2 Sockers out of 3.
That's what's in new.
You know what? For our short existence, we've had quite a bit of soccer talk, I feel like. And considering we've only been on a month and a half.
More soccer and more tennis than I have spoken in 1 month.
In your radio career, right?
Because tennis has been compelling because of the Coco Gauff story and Osaka and Serena and the injuries and all that. So we've talked a lot about it, and also the aging men superstars. It's been I think part of this COVID thing is we've started focusing our sports beyond our borders, because last summer we had to look beyond our borders to watch a little bit. And I watched more soccer last summer than I ever had before, because that was really the only thing on. And I wasn't going to stay up overnight to watch Korean baseball. And I had a team. I had a Samsung Tiger team.
Some of those games are exciting. They get crazy in the stands. I like that. Some of them.
They know what they're doing. It's an entertainment property. Hey, coming back, we got a lot more sports talk. We're looking at the Dallas Cowboys. COVID has hit. It's R&R in the morning, and this is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Rudy and I are going to be live at Arasti on Monday morning. We're so excited to head out there. I want to tell you a little bit about Arasti. I'm an Arasti patient, have been for years. People always come up to me and ask me, what exactly is Arasti? Nobody ever describes it to me. Everybody tells me it works, but what are they doing that makes it work? Well, Arasti is a non-invasive procedure. That's the first thing I can say. We're not talking about surgery. You don't go in and they're going to say, we're going to schedule you for an opportunity to go get surgerized and get yourself a zipper, and you're going to be better in 6 months. There's nothing wrong with you that expensive surgery cannot prolong. That's not that. We're talking about non-invasive. It's kind of chiropractic, but not really. It's kind of like deep tissue massage, but not really. It takes into a variety of different attributes that makes, at the end of the day, you feel better. The pain goes away. And it does. On average, 3.2 visits they have found over the many years and the hundreds of thousands of patients. But 3.2 visits is all it's taken to get you back in the game. And that's really all we want, right? We're not talking about medications to dull or hide the pain, whether they're over-the-counter or prescribed. Not talking about surgery, talking about a passionate professional getting you well. You'll get a full consultation when you get in there. They're going to find out exactly where the problem lies, fix that problem, and amazingly enough, the pain goes away. Becky Hammond, Tony Parker, Clayton Kershaw, just a few that have used Arasti to get themselves back in the game. As fall sports have begun, you certainly probably have trainers for your kids. Well, you want to go to that next level. You're trying to get them back in the game. There's nobody better, nobody more passionate than an Arasti provider. They're all around San Antonio. You want to find one? I'd say go to their website, arasti.com. You'll see a map there. You can find the locale that's closest to you. I'm pretty sure there's probably one less than 10 minutes away from where you are right now. Do not let pain keep you from doing things that you love. When you go to an Arasti provider, they are certainly going to accept most insurances, and you will never need a referral to go see one. So write this number down. It's 1-800-404-6050. Now, that's a 1-800 number, but you're calling San Antonio. It's just their call center. Go to their website. You can schedule it there. If you're sick and tired about being in pain, don't blame it on age. Don't blame it on overwork. Get it fixed. Don't let pain keep you doing things you love. Call an Arasti provider. Get in there and get taken care of, and I'm sure you'll thank me later.
Sports Center is brought to you by Kielbasa Slow Crafted Sausage, available at your local grocery stores.
It was an up-and-down evening for the Texas MLB teams Wednesday night. The Texas Rangers dropped Game 2 in their series against Cleveland 7-2. Jake Latz got the loss in his first start for the Rangers and gave up 3 runs on 5 hits in 4 2/3 innings pitched. The Houston Astros claimed the rubber match against the Kansas City Royals in their 3-game series in Houston, winning yesterday afternoon's game 6-5 in 10 innings. Yordan Alvarez helped the cause for Houston, going 2 of 5 from the plate with a home run. And the San Antonio Missions defeat the Midland Rockhounds 3-1 on Military Appreciation Night last night. Those are your baseball headlines. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Carl Schoening.
Welcome
Welcome to Texas, where your backside will sizzle like bacon when you get in your car, unless you go to Mother's Window Tint, home of the Tint and Alarm Special, where you can also buy a new car stereo. Since 1984, Mother's Window Tint has tinted cars and trucks to keep them cooler and stop the sun from damaging their interiors. Texans like dark privacy window tint. Come to Mother's and get some. Legal and guaranteed a lifetime. Remember to protect yourself and your family. Buy an auto alarm today from Mother's. Starter kill, remote start, GPS locator, 24-hour live monitoring. Save $100 on the tint and alarm package of your choice. Austin and San Antonio stores. MothersWindowTint.com. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
Want to hear something amazing? Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year, automatically, dollar for dollar, with no limit on how much you can earn. Extra cash? Come on, how amazing is that? In fact, it's even more amazing when you realize all the places where Discover is accepted. 99% of places in the U.S. that take credit cards. So when it comes to Discover, get used to hearing yes more often. Learn more at discover.com/yes. 2021 Nielsen Report. Limitations apply.
It's like I blinked and suddenly all my business shifted to e-commerce.
Now, my business hours are whenever my customers need me.
My customers want everything now and faster than ever. It's a whole different world.
Your business is changing. The United States Postal Service is changing with it. We're bringing you fast, reliable shipping nationwide, and we're bringing it right when your customers need it. Let's discover new routes. Visit USPS.com/new routes. The United States Postal Service. Priority you.
Oh, according to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. That means that 82% of you listening right now will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. If you're hiring, 82% of you will recall that ZipRecruiter makes hiring faster and easier. And 82% of you will note that you can try ZipRecruiter for free today. But you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio, like where this ad plays. 82% of you will keep in mind that ZipRecruiter's technology finds qualified people for your job and actively invites them to apply.
Scott, is that you? Who are you talking to?
82% of you will also know that I live with my mom. But the most important thing to note is that ZipRecruiter works. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Will you be part of the 82% who remember where you can try ZipRecruiter for free? It's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Again, that exclusive link is ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Yes, radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
This is R&R in the Morning on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
What's the dumbest thing you ever did? What is literally not in the grand scheme of things, but when you did something and, it only affected you, but you look back on it and go, man, that was dumb. We're going to talk about a kid in India who had needs and super glue and he ended up dying. We'll talk about that in a bit. You're on R&R in the Morning. This is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. We're giving away Dallas Cowboy tickets today. We'll give you a time. I'll tell you when you'll know. When the halftime. I got to put the chain on. Okay. At noon. Halftime will get going.
We got to start really wearing the chain. We've been saying the chain. We got to really wear it, man.
Well, this time
is it over there? No, not today.
I did. No, I earned it. We need to keep it in here. But I think
we need to keep it in here.
I think,
but Karl,
he earns it now and again as well.
Here and there,
the turnover chain. For those of you unaware, when we misspeak, when we say something inappropriate or wrong, you got to put on the chain. You got to wear it. Let everybody know it's the shame of making a mistake here at San Antonio Sports Star. I watched Hard Knocks last night, and if you haven't, there's no news there, but it is the epitome of what Hard Knocks should be. A couple of things that I took away from that I think are just being reinforced. One, Mike McCarthy is not your typical coach.
Explain.
They had him kind of mic'd up during the Cardinal game, and I appreciate when we score a touchdown, he kind of turns to himself and goes, boom.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? He's one of those, yeah, got it. Pre-game, they're all standing around before the Cardinal game. Jerry and Steven walk up after the helicopter ride, which is worth the watch right there anyway. Watching Jerry get onto his Dallas Cowboy helicopter and ride from the star to the stadium. By the way, if you haven't seen it, they get about there. They've already taken off, and evidently Steven was running late and had to turn the helicopter back to go get Steven. And to hear Jerry's response to that, it's classic. Go watch Hard Knocks or find somebody who can.
But they went back and got him.
Of course they went back and got him. Jerry wasn't happy. He kind of
Steven's
laughed
a rock
about
star.
it. Steven's a rock
Hanging
star.
out with Steven at Nobu, Steven's a rock star, and he's gotten over himself, as Pop likes to say. Pop always says, get over yourself. Steven Jones has gotten over himself. He knows who he is, but super cool, super down-to-earth cat.
To find a guy that's comfortable in the limelight,
yes,
but equally as comfortable standing next to the limelight. And there's not too many people like that. You either want the camera or you don't want it at all. And it's hard to be both. And Steven has to be both when his dad's in the room, or as he calls him, Jerry, which is, I've always found that interesting.
I think it's appropriate though. Like, we're at work. I'm not your daddy, because if I have to get on you, I'm gonna get on you. I'm not your daddy here at work. We're at work. I'm Jerry. I get that.
My brother and my father were law partners, and I've never worked with my dad. I don't know how I would handle that.
Well, I don't think people are gonna take you serious. The people that work right next to y'all, like the people that they're around. Okay, we're not talking about the players. The players aren't around Steven and Jerry. But the people that are around you aren't going to take you serious if you walk around saying daddy.
Really? I think initially you would
call saying daddy.
Oh, my father, my dad.
I did an Austin Spurs game with my dad one time, and I obviously did not call him dad on air.
Well, on air would be
and it's a little different, obviously, but still, yeah.
I get it. I understand that.
I'm not sure how I'd handle it, because I can't imagine a world where I turn to my dad and say, "Well, Bob, what do you think?"
You also say coach and not, "Hey, Mike." So I get where you come from. Like, that's just the cloth you cut from.
Yes.
So you probably be like, "Hey, Pops."
Yeah,
Dad.
I would.
You know what I mean?
I would
That's just
always
who you
say
are.
that. Like,
right.
My Pop told me that this is what's going to happen, and then we might be talking about $1 billion business move, but it's still my Pops.
Right.
You know?
That's just who you are.
I'll never forget the first time I sat down with Steven and I did an interview, and he said Jerry, and I was like, "Is there a different Jerry? Is there another Jerry that I need to know about?" Because I'm thinking that we were talking about your dad, but that is different.
Yeah,
but
so good episode.
Hearing Mike talk, he is a different guy. But one of the things that I took away from what Mike McCarthy is and the mindset of the Cowboys right now is they're all standing out on the field pregame with the Cardinals, and they had just found out that Dan Quinn had been pulled from the press box because of the contact tracing. And he just turned to Jerry and he goes, "Well, just another thing, right?
It's
not one thing or another. It's just another thing, right?" Which I think to me opened up a lot about who Mike McCarthy is. I've had the opportunity to interview him many times, and he'll be here with Rudy and I all season long. We expect him Friday mornings about 6:45.
Okay.
6:45 to 7 o'clock. That's what we did last year. Breakfast. And in talking with him, I kind of got the feeling that he was a little bit more of a guy that became a coach. Like Jason Garrett was a coach from the time the alarm went off in the morning to the time he went to bed. I think Mike McCarthy is a coach most of the time, but I do think he gets home and he hangs his whistle up and just becomes a guy.
Tosses him a beer, crosses his legs.
I just get that feeling.
The Office.
And it's not better or worse, but
you're just talking about who they are.
I don't think we're ever going to run into Mike McCarthy is never going to be burned out as a coach.
No.
Where, some coaches you see after a couple of years and like, dude, I don't know how you can live like this. You can't focus on it 24/7, 365 the way some of these guys do and live a healthy life.
You know what? When you first told me that we were going to be talking to McCarthy once a week, the first thing I thought of, and I'll give this away. I can't wait. I mean, I'm sure maybe you've already asked him, but like, have he ever pinched himself and said, "I've coached Green Bay and Dallas"? Like, and if you let that sink in and you just live in the moment and you're not on your Nick Saban kick where you're winning the title and then you're worried about recruiting. Like, if you just sit back
and go, "I'm here.
I coached the Green Bay Packers and now I'm the coach of the Cowboys. I lived a pretty damn good life. I'm going to watch The Office for a little bit."
Okay, Rudy, I'm going to ask you this.
Like, think about that.
You think about that, but that's relative to everybody. Everybody, at some point, you reach a status that you did not think you'd reach, whether it's a promotion
those two teams,
or it's a girl you dated or something like that.
Right.
Do you ever sit back and go, "Well, I'm here"? No, you go, "This is pretty awesome, but what about this feels pretty good, but what if I do that?"
Yeah, because I get that sometimes from buddies like, "Dude, do you realize what you do?" And I'm like, I'm nowhere near where I want to be.
Right. So
I get it.
I think you allow yourself a minute.
Gotta answer that myself.
And when we first talked to McCarthy, we did ask him that. Like, man, you're coming off a ring. You spent a year sitting and perfecting your craft, and here you are with Jerry.
Now you with Dallas.
You're back at the field that you last coached on when you won the Super Bowl on this field. Yeah. You're the head coach of the most powerful and wealthiest franchise in the entire world. There is nothing that can happen that will not be on the news. What do you think? And he goes, yeah, it's pretty crazy, isn't it?
And he's like, but we got some work to do.
We
got some work to do.
But we got work to do. But when I heard him talking, that's just another thing.
Yeah.
That mentality for what the Cowboys went through last year and what they're trying to do is the perfect man meets moment. Because I do think you could be a little overbearing if you were dealing with a Jerry Jones who I think sees the finish line. Like,
he's cried
I'm
twice
running out of time
twice this summer.
And I have spent every penny I can. I have made every one of my players as happy as possible. There's not one Dallas Cowboy that is bitching about their pay this year. I got nobody going, I'm going to hold out unless you redo my, I got nothing. And when was the last time Jerry got to deal with that?
Been a while.
So he's got everybody healthy. He's got everybody returning. He's got his coach. He's coming out of COVID and still dealing with it, still dealing with the COVID. And you hear Mike McCarthy go, that's just another thing. It's not one thing, it's another. Let's go out and let's do this. Some coaches would have been freaking out, maybe not openly, but you lose your defensive coordinator. You're trying to make sure this guy, Micah Parsons, the guy we drafted that's going to play like 9 positions tonight, my guy's not going to be calling that. I'm dealing with a quarterback that's missing reps because we got him on a pitch count. Things could be, if you were really a wound tight kind of a coach.
If you're Stan Van Gundy, you'd be panicking.
You would be panicking. I think the Cowboys need a guy like McCarthy who behind the scenes is going to preach the right things, but also realize, let it go, man. Chill a little bit. Let's just be us.
He's out of his shell this year. He seems like more of himself. Again, I keep preaching it, but he seems like more of the guy I knew in Green Bay.
Now, if there's
which
only
is a good thing.
Yeah, but if there's only 6-7 wins, there'll be somebody else doing that job next year.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that.
Probably Dan Quinn.
Whoever it might be, I think we all know that Jerry has certain expectations, and he knows that he let the other one go too long. He let Garrett stay way too long, probably 4 years too long. That's not going to happen again. No. And it certainly won't happen under Steven.
No, absolutely not.
Because Steven has watched the mistakes of his father. He watched the Dave Campo hire. He watched the Chan Gailey hire. He lived through a myriad of half-ass quarterbacks and bad draft picks. That's not going to happen under Steven. Jerry is coming closer to Steven, but I think that the attitude around the Cowboys is unlike anything we've seen from Jerry since year 3 of the organization. Yeah. Just footloose, fancy free. We got a young team. Let's go get it. But
dudes had Aaron Rodgers and now Dak Prescott. Not a bad life.
Not a bad life.
And Rob sends them tacos on Fridays.
What I try to do. We are going to have breakfast with the Blitz. You might need to find a new restaurant. We found a great taco place up in South Lake called El Volcan. Volcan. He delivers them to the training camp or delivers them to the Star early in the morning. And we sit down and have breakfast with Mike McCarthy. And we do expect that to start in a couple of weeks. Probably the
week.
Well, they're playing on that Thursday night. So I'm wondering what the timing will be of that game, because they're going to go on a schedule that'll act like Thursday is Sunday. So I would imagine we will get McCarthy probably that Tuesday.
Okay.
That would be my expectation.
All good.
We're going to put a bow on the show and tell you about a kid in India that killed himself with a bottle of super glue and
this is a sad story.
A little bit of desire to have a little something. Weird story to get you to work. Hang on tight. It's R&R in the Morning, and you're on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. You know, on hot days like this, as you leave your home or you head to work, you expect a certain comfortability. You want it to be comfortable so you can get your job done while you're at work, or while you're at home, you can relax and take care of your family. And if your air conditioning goes down, well, that's out the window. You want to talk about a personal emergency, an emergency that needs a first responder? Have your AC go off about 1 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. You want to talk about worried? Who are you going to call then? Well, I'll tell you who I will call and who you should call. That's Service First AC and Plumbing. 210 No Sweat is the number you need to remember. 210 No Sweat. When you're starting to get sweaty, get rid of it. 210 No Sweat. Because Service First AC and Plumbing, well, they specialize. They're experts in those same-day service calls, those emergencies. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. You call, they answer, they come. That's all you need to know. And when they arrive, they're going to take care of your business like it was your business. They're going to take care of your home like it was their home. They're clean. They are, well, absolutely friendly. But more importantly, they're experts at what they do, and they will take care of your problem. I trust them. You should too. Service First AC and Plumbing. The trucks are loaded. The drivers are experts, and they'll come out and take care of you. And at the end of the day, that's what you want. A person in the business. Go check out the website, servicefirstactx.com. I tell you that to let you go see all those 5-star reviews. Many, many of them. San Antonians taking care of San Antonians. 24/7, you got a problem, Service First AC and Plumbing is there to take care of you. The number you need, 210, no sweat. 210, no sweat. Put it in your phone and thank me later.
A 17-week season and only one couch. Let's hope it holds up. The Cowboys are back. The explosive action happens here. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Your source to local news and sports in San Antonio begins with the San Antonio Express News. We've collected, written, and shown the stories that matter most to San Antonio. Look no further than the San Antonio Express News to continue to provide information and strength to the community. Whether it's on the field or on a court, we provide the ground local coverage. Go to expressnews.com for the most up-to-date high school and college sports coverage. Subscribe today at expressnews.com.
You and your phone have been through a lot this past year. It's been your lifeline to the world. And now some big wireless company is telling you got to buy a new phone from them and sign their contract? They don't control you. With TracFone Wireless, you can keep the phone, number, and network you already have. Already got a 5G phone? Keep that too, because TracFone runs on America's best networks now with 5G nationwide. Plus, we've got unlimited talk and text smartphone plans starting at just $20. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. 5G nationwide access requires a 5G capable device. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Gonna miss you around here, Iris.
Olivia's best optometry technician is going back to school.
Did we get that new frame?
Her eye is already twitching about finding a replacement.
Ugh, this can't keep happening. We're gonna have to cancel appointments.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Screen for quality candidates with the skills your role needs with Indeed assessments. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Prescription products require an online consultation. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
Think you might have ED? Not sure? Well, we'd like to let you in on a little secret. ED is common. About 40% of men experience ED by age 40, but the solution is simple. Find it at 4hims.com.
I didn't have to talk to a doctor in person. There was no copay, and the medication was shipped right to my door in discreet packaging.
Hims took care of it, fast and easy. Now our love life is better than ever.
Get access to doctors online who can prescribe you FDA-approved ED medication if appropriate. The same active ingredient as name brands, but 90% cheaper. Skip the waiting rooms and pharmacy lines. Get a free medical consultation and rise to the occasion or your money back. Go to 4hims.com/radio to get your first visit free. No copay required. The only way to get this special offer is to go to 4hims.com/radio. FORHIMS.com/RADIO.
Get the latest scores and more from high school football online anytime at 210varsity.com. Sponsored by the San Antonio Express News. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
This is Karl Schoening, and you're listening to San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
R&R in the morning. He's Rudy J. I'm Rob Thompson, Karl Schoening. Driving this bus, we're about to get off, but that doesn't mean we're done. Halftime gets going at noon.
Halftime.
And we have a very special Blossom this afternoon at 4. Very special Blitz.
Yeah.
It will be hosted by my co-host, Rudy J. You'll be joined by Rock the Mic champs, Michael Jimenez and Quinn Hudson. 2 hours of glorious fun leading you into a Texas Ranger game this evening. Make sure you schedule the time, because at some point in the next 5 hours of local programming, either from noon to 2, halftime, or from 4 hours, 4 to 6, somebody's going to get some Dallas Cowboy tickets. So you're going to make sure you stay with us all afternoon long. This is a story that I don't even know how to begin. to talk about it. But
I'm surprised you want to. This is disturbing.
It is.
Let's talk about it, though. I like it. I like disturbing.
Out of the Z News. I don't know where Z News comes from. It seems like a fairly reputable website, although there are many letters in different angles that don't look English. But this comes out of India. Viral news. Man uses glue instead of condom during intercourse and ends up dead. Well, you got to read that.
Super glue? Gorilla glue? What kind of glue? Like Elmer's? The one I used to eat off of my hand? What kind of glue?
Super.
But why did he die?
Well, you get all backed up. I don't know.
Oh.
This Dateline New Delhi, a youth from Gujarat reportedly died after using a strong adhesive to glue his private parts during intercourse. The 25-year-old was getting intimate with a female friend when they realized they did not have a condom, so they used an adhesive to avoid pregnancy.
But what happened to her?
I think she's fine. He blew up. Since they did not have any protection, they decided to apply the adhesive on his private parts to ensure that she does not get pregnant. Police officer said, incidentally, they had adhesive on them as they occasionally used it with whitener to inhale the mixture to get high. So obviously,
maybe he OD'd. Maybe this had nothing to do with the act.
Mirza was found unconscious the following day. A person known to him saw him lying unconscious and took him to his house, where later he dashed to Sola Civil Hospital, where he succumbed to his glue and died.
I'll give them points for trying to protect themselves. I mean, we don't always, that's why, and goes back to Rob asking, what's the dumbest thing you've ever done?
Yeah.
Because this is right up there. Again, credit for wanting to protect yourselves. You tried. It's not the smartest thing, but you tried. I'll give him points for that. But considering that you get high off this glue, maybe they were high when he made this decision.
Well, because he could not urinate.
Oh.
Things backed up. And he died according to this, though it doesn't appear a post-mortem was done. Died due to multiple organ failure. So as bad as your day might have been, at least you're not dealing with this.
You didn't die from backed up urine.
Yeah, that's bad. I'm glad we're in.
Where do you find this stuff, Rob? Because there's another one you said.
This one?
Well, don't even tell them about the other one you sent us. We'll just save that one for tomorrow. But the other one you sent us is just as crazy.
I walked into the KTSA studios this morning, and Trey Ware was talking about it. And I need to ask him where exactly you find something like that. So kids, see kids, if you
stay in school
and don't use the glue.
So he got backed up. And then you can't pee. That's horrible, bro.
It's a tough way to go.
That's not how we were. I knew we were born to die, but that ain't how we're supposed to go out.
Not to go out like that. Carl, I want to thank you for everything you did behind the glass. He's got to go to work in a couple hours. He's going to be hosting halftime.
You on with him?
Rudy's I'm going to be there.
I'm the Blitz. It's going to be the drop back in coverage today.
At 4:00, you need to have your alarm set. The Blitz will begin. Rudy will be hosting. Minix will be back on Monday. He's got the rock, the mic clear, and get you all ready for everything. Y'all drive safe. Don't mind them brake lights. We'll get you all the way to work and all the way to home. And let's hope you have a fantastic Thursday. Might want to pay attention to the Rangers tonight. We'll have them at 6:00. Thanks for hanging with us. We're going to do better tomorrow. We promise. See you later, Mom.
San Antonio Sports Star has your tickets to the biggest events.
We've got your free tickets to the Texas kickoff at Energy Stadium Saturday, September 4th, as the Texas Tech Red Raiders battle the Houston Cougars. Listen to Dial In to Win. Plus, head online to sasportstar.com to register to win